sounds on the dance floor.
Dark wave. Break it down. Dark wave. Break it down. Dark wave. Dark wave. Break it down. Dark wave. Break it down. Dark wave.
ladies and gentlemen, it is the final week of the Sprint Series here in the OOR, and we are heading to South Africa for this final round here. I know it says Asia Pacific, but it is for North America Red and Blue Split. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Nick Amon, and I am joined alongside Nathan Villalonga once more for this final battle here in North America. Nate, how are you doing?
I am good. I'm excited, and I mean, I wish to know. I hope to know the champion for this race, but I already know. So I'm just happy that there will be another good quality race for Kyalami.
Wait, so you read ahead in the script? I thought we weren't allowed to do that.
I'm just giving my predictions.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
So tonight will be just a regular sprint, no super sprint, so it is going to be 1 hour of racing here at this beautiful South African circuit. Fun fact for your next party, if you go to those, Kyalami is actually used for a cycling event that happens in South Africa. Obviously, they don't use the whole circuit. You don't stick 300 cyclists on track and say, all right, have at it. But yeah, it's used as a small part of the much larger route. So I was very surprised when I found that out. It's like, huh. So I guess it's not just cars that get to race around this beautiful circuit, but those with 2 wheels and no motors.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, man. Pretty surprised that they're using this track because I'm a cyclist and I'm pretty experienced when it comes to understanding gradients, and this track is pretty high up in the gradient. There are some parts of the track that's going uphill, and that can be pretty hard for the cyclists if they're even trying to be cycling here.
Well, I didn't know that. I'm not a cyclist. I just go on the elliptical, and that's my cardio. But enough about that. So with the season ending, things are going to change here, not just for us in the booth, but those on track as well. We're going to have some drivers probably sticking around, other drivers, taking a season, kind of doing their own thing. I know we'll definitely have some new drivers come season 9. Nate, what are your plans at the end of this wonderful, wonderful season?
Well, good question, man. I mean, I'm planning to transition to sprints for next season. Um, and I'm actually trying to think about if I'm able to be a steward in some of the rookie races in our league. But yeah, I'm still figuring that out because I'm still busy studying for my licensing exam for engineering. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Pretty anxious, and yeah, excited to where my future gonna be for this league.
Well, I mean, you've done a damn good job here in the booth. I don't see why you wouldn't do well elsewhere. If you do go into sprint and you do race, I'm assuming that's what you meant when you said you're going into sprint earlier. If you did get to race in the sprint series, which car would you pick?
Oh well, I mean, I'm still sticking to the Nissan because it is one of the most shunned cars. Not a lot of people likes to drive that because it is quite good, but you have to have like a certain kind of driving style, and you need to know a lot of setups just to figure that thing out because it's a brick, it's a flying brick. But yeah, but I'm trying to test also the NSX for like non-OOR events because I'm trying to find what my next car will be after the Nissan. How about you, man?
Well,
Are you gonna join the sprints?
no, I think I'm staying in the booth. I like it. It's nice and cozy up here. When the rain starts falling, I'm all snuggled up and warm, just talking. So I will definitely be staying in the booth here for the upcoming season. Although if I did race in sprint, I'd probably hop back in the Aston or maybe give the McLaren another shot because I did race with that in the rookie series. And speaking of events, the OOR is going to be having their 12 hours of spa coming up next month. I believe it's going to be, for us in NA, it would basically be the 17th through the 19th, and then for everyone who's actually on OOR time, it's going to be the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. So that'll be, or no, I'm looking at March. I'm dumb. Sorry, 15, 16, 17. I have the wrong calendar. So yes, that's coming up. I am planning on doing that with Jeff Spangler and Ryan Yee, but we'll have to see how all that plays out. Yeah, I think we got the winning team.
Yeah, I'm for sure. I mean, you guys are quite quick. But I mean, what car are you gonna choose for the 12-hour?
The McLaren. It's a pretty strong car for Spa, so it's like, well, you know what? If we want to increase our chances of doing well, I'm obviously not looking to win, but if it happens, it happens. But if we want to increase our chances just of doing well, you know, go for the strong car. I did hop on earlier today. I had to get up early for some stuff, so it was kind of nice to actually have more time to kind of do this, kind of do a little bit of racing. But I hopped back on the sim after being away for a while, and I looked at my old PB in the McLaren at Spa, which was a 220.8. Definitely not my best. My personal best is actually a 218.8 in the Aston. But I hopped on, and within about half an hour, I got it down to a 220 flat. So I'm going to be taking more time just to get something together, see if I can break the 219, and then maybe back into the 218s, and then, you know, just get myself ready for class or qualification. And, you know, maybe we'll be out there, maybe we won't. Hopefully we will.
Yeah, I'll be watching you guys for the 12-hour, man. Pretty excited for that.
Well, I will be streaming it most likely. Hint, hint. I'm not plugging right now. Mullik will probably send me. Mullik will probably banish me to the nth dimension if I do that. So I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But I mean, I hate Spa, but still fun to watch. You know, I don't like driving there.
I love. Oh my god, dude! I have a little road or a little track art piece that I got for my birthday. I think last year or no, year before. And it's Spa. It's so nice, and I think they have Bathurst on their website, so I'm probably gonna get that one too because I also love the mountain. Yeah, but no, Spa's like my all-time favorite track. I absolutely love it. However, a lot of other people love it, and some of those people don't know how to drive it, and I kind of have to deal with that, and that's a whole thing. But enough about Spa. Enough about other tracks. Enough about events. We're here for Kyalami. We're here for North American Sprint. In the first of two qualifyings that we'll have, we have the North American Blue Split qualifying, and then we'll have the North American Red Split. As it stands, though, Renato Dornelis, the man from Brazil, on top with a 140.535, and then it's Ryan Yee, one of our fellow commentators, who will be joining us after this evening's race, with a 140.8, and then Nicholas Alvarado is in the 141. So, for the time being, only three drivers have broken into the 140s, as Mike Landry goes third quickest with a 0.44. Nate, at Kyalami, how do you feel about her? Do you think she's nice, or do you think she can be a little bit mean sometimes?
No, I mean, Kyalami is one of the best tracks on.
Ooh, that's a big fact right there. I agree with that.
Yeah, because it gives a lot of different places where you can overtake. So it gives a lot of opportunities for drivers, and it's fun to clip the track. What I mean by clip is when you hit like a perfect lap, it feels nice. It's like Brands Hatch, but in a more in a more like simple way, because yes, it's almost all straights, because I mean we have the start finish straight, we have the back straight after sunset. It's a fun track to just find that edge and find that limit to get that good time. I mean, we're seeing here Renato Dornelis and Ryan Yee making like a good time, like 141 low, you know. I mean sub 141. So I mean, I can't even do that time, but me trying and finding that 141.5 in my best time with the Nissan was quite fun. So I love it. I don't know if anyone likes it that much, but yeah. How about you, man? Honestly,
I love the track. After participating in the 9-hour here, honestly really learned to love this track. I will say the one area that did catch me out constantly was Cheetah, and I have a feeling that she will not be going hungry tonight. Thomas Pierce actually going through it right now. You think, hey, I've got enough room, and then all of a sudden you hit that curb, and your right side is essentially in the stratosphere. It's very, very terrifying, but a lot of things you said earlier, you know, really good overtaking opportunities. When you stitch that lap together, it just feels so good, and I 100% agree with that. It is one of the tracks that I genuinely would be absolutely okay with driving on for the rest of my life. But getting to the end of qualifying here, it's still Dornelis on top with Ryan Yee right behind. Nicholas Alvarado does improve to a 140.9 as he goes through Cheetah. He'll be the last driver across the grid, and it will settle the qualifying order for this first of 2 sprint races for this evening in total. Obviously, again, it's not a super sprint, and Alvarado does leapfrog Ryan Yee and will sit second place on the grid. So it's Dornelis to Alvarado, Yee, Landry, Clifford, Pierce, Spangler, Mendina, Portis the second, and Carpenter are your top 10. Flomger, Walker, Dag, Frizza, Johnson, Kogan, Martinez, Hasser, Philbin, and Friesen will make up your bottom 10. And then you have Specht, Pereira, and Holmes. So 23 cars on the grid this evening, and I do not see a safety car. What is going on here? Let's see if we can find her. Where's little safety car? Where are you?
Also one thing to note though. As said by our race director, car 160 to receive 2-place grid penalty because he was ignoring blue flag.
Oof. That's never good. Car 160 just to the side of us here. That is going to be the Ferrari of... It's not showing up on my board, unfortunately. It's probably... Oh, it's one of the back marker... Or not back marker, I shouldn't be saying that. One of the teams in the back. It is a silver-rated driver, so this must be one of the newer folks here in the OOR. But, yeah, we gear up for the final race. That's actually Mosley who will be receiving that 2-place grid penalty. So he'll be starting from the back, so May and MacGyver will be gaining a position here at the start. But predictions for this race, what are we feeling?
I'm excited where the Honda will be, you know. Nicholas Alvarado is like the spanner in the engine, you know, because, or I don't know what the term was, but yeah. So I'm excited where he can put that because, I mean, Konos accidentally upgraded the Honda. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but, I mean, clearly the Honda is quick here because of that update. And we see Clifford going to the pits.
Did not hit start on his
did
button.
not hit start. Oh. Hey, there's a safety car.
Yep. She was sitting in the back, so we'll hop on board with the safety car for this opening lap. I think I'm excited to see the front run. I think Ryan Yee is probably going to be battling with Alvarado and Dornelis here for a good chunk of the race. All three of those guys really quick drivers, no doubt about it. They've shown it week in and week out. Ryan Yee especially has been sitting on top pretty much day in and day out. I think he's only dropped maybe 1 or 2 races throughout the entire season. So if that doesn't tell you how much of a threat he is on track, then I really don't know what does. But I hope to see some good battles, not just up front, but even across the grid. You've got a lot of talented drivers here, so this will definitely be a very, very good night.
What are your turn 2 predictions, man? Is it 7 wide, 8 wide, 10 wide?
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm not Mullick, so when I cast at turn 1, it usually goes pretty well.
Hey, it's turn 2.
Oh, you're right, turn 2.
Is...
Oh, yeah, turn 1's the cake. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the cake.
Okay, so it might. Okay, so my luck might actually run out. All right, that's a problem. I'm gonna give these guys the benefit of the doubt. All right, I'm gonna say that they're gonna get through turn 2 just nicely. I think at most we'll see 3 wide. We might see a temporary 4 wide going down into turn 2, but I think we should be good. I don't think anyone's going to die. What about you, Nathan? What do you think?
Well, I hope the NA split here that won't be. I mean, will still be continuing their safety streak for the almost all of our races here in OOR for the sprints. But I hope they still be safe. And I just expect that from the split because they're one of the safest splits I've seen, actually.
All right, let's hope that caster's curse doesn't come back to bite us. I swear it's going to be very upsetting. And if it is, Nate, you're fired, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But
Okay.
we get ready for the start of North America Blue Split, the last race of their season before we take a few weeks off to get ourselves settled. It's Dornelis on pole with Alvarado joining him, Yi and Landry on that second row, Pearson Spangler, row number 3. Rona Medina, Kenneth Portis on 4th row, and Carpenter and Flomger, that 5th row, your top 10 drivers. And we're green for the Blue Split sprint race. It's Dornelis and Alvarado getting an excellent start. Alvarado's actually going to win out a bit more. It looks like Ryan Yi did not get the best jump there as he almost is overtaken. We can see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 wide going into turn 1. We're going to hop back through the grid here, or turn 2 rather, and look at that, a lot of 3 wides. We got the Lamborghini of, I believe that was Dave Hasser, getting with the back end of one of the Porsches, but a lot of these drivers doing an excellent job, and we can see on the road map there, Clifford starting from the back. He didn't start from the pit lane, but it is getting ready, and everybody doing their best to make it through on 2 turns and no deaths. Great job, boys.
I'm telling you, man, this split is amazing. They're so safe. It's a dream to drive here. Oh, there's one off right now.
Alvarado hitting a little bit loosey-goosey there. Looks like he lost the back end. We got car 717. That's Guillermo Martinez going off the background. We have the McLaren going wide there of Landry. I couldn't tell if he got pushed wide, but he's going to lose out. So Dornelis is starting to build a gap. Alvarado building a gap. Landry battling with Ryan Yi as they go down Mineshaft here into Crocodile. Look at that door-to-door action on the brakes here. Landry will have that inside line, but Ryan Yi, a little bit of a bump there, and that's actually going to compromise him as Spangler jumps through. So he's going to gain a position, and now it's Pierce who's looking to gain something, but Ryan Yi not giving up just yet through Cheetah. It's going to be Spangler getting the most out of that one. Ryan Yi from 3rd to 5th on the grid in the opening lap. That is not what he wanted. And you can see Portis and Medina as well going at it down this front stretch door to door, but lap 1 pretty perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty perfect, man. I mean, you could see that the top 5 are just being aggressive in the start, and they really wanted that pace, especially when they knew Ryan Yi is already with happiness this race, you know? He just wanted to be safe, just wanted to be getting that place, but I mean, all of them are just elbows out in the first lap. So yeah.
Yeah, very, very clean racing. You love to see it. That's what we do here in the OOR. And the battle for 8th position, or 7th position, still raging on. You can see Medina there going a bit wide, but that's going to give him the inside corner into Clubhouse, and it looks like the Lamborghini driver is going to gain that position as they go towards the S's, but you see Portis getting an excellent exit out of there, but he's going to have to back out. He can't challenge that. He didn't have the line, so it'll be Rona Medina for the time being, sitting in 7th position, as Portis might be falling back into the clutches of those waiting behind. You see Flomger and Walker, the 2 McLarens, looking to hound this little Honda. Jeff Spangler having a pretty decent start here. I don't think he moved up at least a position on the grid. You saw going through Cheetah, Ryan Yi having to back out, so that'll be Ryan Yi probably just either taking it easy or trying to gain some positions here. But yeah, Cheetah. Oh, speaking of Cheetah, there it is. There is the first casualty. It's going to be Thomas Pearson, the Ferrari. You saw the right side of the car just clip that curb. Nothing he could have done about it. Thankfully, he keeps it off the wall. But Thomas Pierce from 6th to 10th in one corner. That is absolutely not what he wanted to see. But then again, there is still 56 minutes on the clock. Anything can happen. Drivers are required to pit at some point in the race. I don't know if there's a pit window, but we can see the Nissan of Kogan going door-to-door with Frizza, and it's Kogan who's actually going to lose out there. So I think driver's already starting to get a bit aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, we could clearly see that Frizza just closed the doors. Oh, and there was a spin in that's turn 5, I think. But there was a spin from Colin Johnson, I think. Like going down the inside, hitting the Lambo.
Oh boy.
That's a Constantino effect, though.
Oh man, excellent evasive maneuvers out of everybody. That was a little bit dicey coming around that corner. Sometimes it's almost blind, depending on where you're sitting on the track. So great effort from all of these guys to avoid any damage to their car. Just saw the McLaren taking a bit of a hit on the nose, but walking away pretty clean. Jeff Spangler, though, coming under attack from Ryan Yees, looking to gain that 4th position and probably make his way up to Landry, who's been running away with the position he's gained. Same with Alvarado and Dornelis, the 2 South American drivers, not looking back. They hit the gas and that was it. They are not going to wait anything, or not going to wait for anything. The pit window opening. So within the next 50 minutes, drivers are going to have to pit for a fresh set of tires. That'll be 30 seconds, including fuel, should they choose to go for it. But I believe the strategy is, what would you say, overfill and then just sort of get the tires and get out and not have to worry about fuel? Or do you underfill and then get another round?
Well, I mean, it actually depends on your ability to conserve tires in an hour sprint. But since we're talking about changing tires, it's always the optimal strategy to make use of the tires for half of the race and then make use of another tire for half of the race. Basically, when you're doing like an endurance stint, it doesn't really make sense because you're not, there's a mandatory tire change. So if there's no mandatory tire change, I think it's always the better choice to not choose tires over like 30 seconds of waiting in the pits. But yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you want and what you're practicing for, actually.
That's a very good point. I think some drivers will probably do just that. Some drivers might be looking to maybe do a little bit of both, a little bit of fuel, a little bit of tires here and there. I'm sure this track will have more of an effect on one side than the other. I'm sure we can scope that one out. But we'll have to wait and see. Nobody in the pits just yet. Actually, as I say that, with Colin Johnson out of the pits, you saw him getting tangled up there with the Lamborghini in the background, so he had to get some damage fixed, so he's going to fall way down the grid, unfortunately. Good morning, PJ. Says, no point overfueling. Pit stop is 30 seconds anyways with tire change. That is true. Fuel change does happen at the exact same time as your tires, and yes, fuel is too expensive at the moment, unfortunately. But, well, in this game, there's no such thing as an economy. It's more just race your car, call it a day, and get out there. Chris Frizza, though, looks like Kogan's ready to do battle with him once more.
So because going to the inside, making use of that Nissan power, and making sure his nose is just enough to have Frieza give his space for that inside in turn 2. And yeah, I mean, Tommy Kogan now was able to get ahead of Frieza, which, I mean, previously in some laps, Frieza was closing the door on him at turn 2. So yeah, set it for this battle.
Amazing. Oh, Frieza getting a little bit on the grass there. You actually saw in the previous few corners, Frieza going on to the curbs. The curbs here at Kyalami are quite high, I will say. If you hit them, and some of the curbs you hit, and you're just sort of gone. It's not cheetah levels of high, but it's definitely there. And you saw Carpenter having to take evasive action, stomping on the brakes a little bit, diving to the outside, and Dave Hasser almost got the position. Unfortunately, that isn't going to happen. But speaking of Carpenter, he goes down the inside. Frieza doesn't see it, makes contact. So it's going to be the Aston Martin through, and it looks like Dave Hasser might also have a piece of this battle. Ooh, the 2 Italian cars getting very close to each other. It's the bull on the inside, it's the horse on the outside, but it's going to be the charging bull of Dave Hasser that gains a position. So Chris Frieza not doing too hot here, although a little sooner on the brakes. He almost got the job done, but that Lamborghini just a little too wide, and now it's Thomas Dag looking to gain a position here. They get through Cheetah nice and cleanly, so Chris Frieza losing some positions, drivers gaining positions. He may be under threat from Dag here going into turn number 2, but I think he's a little too far back to go for a move just yet.
Yeah, I mean, we could clearly see Frieza is just struggling in the Ferrari right now, and he's losing pace and losing pace. And one thing I wasn't able to figure out is why he's always closing the door, even though he knows there's a car going into the inside. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for him to settle down. Oh, there's an overtake.
Ooh.
There's an overtake with Tommy Hogan and Austin Carpenter in turn 4, I think. Yeah. And right now, Austin Carpenter is getting ahead of Tommy Hogan, and we can clearly see Dave Hasser going wide into sunset. And I mean, talking about the curves, actually, the thing here in Kyalami is you have to make your suspension either settle or not travel that much in the front. So the thing for if you want to ride the curves here, you want to have your dampers or suspension where when it hits it, it just settles and it doesn't oscillate. Because when it oscillates, you're gonna unsettle the car as you go through it. So yeah, that's the thing with the curves here. That's what I noticed when I was doing setups for the Nissan.
Interesting. I don't do setups. People just give me the setup and I make the car go skirt. But one thing we should point out, look at this gap here from 9th place. Is it 9th place? Yeah, 9th place Walker. Pierce. From 10th place down to Carpenter. That gap, 8 seconds. So we have two groups forming. Dornelis still very comfortable in the lead. Alvarado settling into second. Landry in third. Ryan Yee still struggling to get around that McLaren. But yeah, look, I mean, this just goes to show you that even if the entire grid splits up, you can still have these groups form. You can still have battles going. So it'll be quite the job to keep everything in check. Nathan Specht, though, did pick up a 10-second penalty for a collision on lap 1. So far, that is really the only casualty on the penalty front. So we'll keep an eye on everything, though, for you guys. Don't you worry. As we get into the 12th minute here at Kyalami, still 48 on the clock, 43 to get your pit stop done. If you don't, I believe it's a 30-second penalty.
Yes, I believe so also.
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't get my pit lane penalties. Well, that's a lie. I do get pit lane penalties. That one time, I still haven't let myself live that one down. But no. It's honestly, with the window they give you, I would say it's even kind of difficult to forget about your pit stop because of just how massive the window is and how long it's open for. I mean, I understand getting into the rhythm of things and saying, all right, just doing my laps, la-di-da-di-da, but I don't really think it's possible to forget about your pit stop. Justin Friesen, though, getting a little bit wide here, so that'll give Clifford a chance, actually, down the inside through Cheetah. An excellent move. Car 14, though, is off. Alan MacGyver going to jump back a little bit. Goes through Crocodile here. I bet it was Cheetah. Do you think it was Cheetah? Ah, yes, it was. She has claimed another victim, and she is having a feast tonight.
Well, he didn't actually hit it. He just went through that part of the curve where it launches you, but it doesn't launches you to the sand. But it unsettles the car as you ride over it, and when you don't have a suspension properly for it, you're just gonna oscillate, and that's what happened. When he settled, it just oscillated and he went to the grass part of the curve on the outside after Cheetah, and then that's where he spun on power.
I was just... That's a much better analysis than whatever I said. I'm usually just like, yes, he made the mistake. Perfect. Anyways. And then you're over here like, all right, Nick, hold on. We gotta have a higher IQ than room temperature right now. I got you covered. I'm hitting you with the 120 IQ. You're welcome. But yeah, that corner, Cheetah is, honestly, I feel like a lot of people get caught out by it, especially when they're learning the track. They see it and they go, just another inside corner, no problem. And by the time you get close enough to realize that sausage curb is more like a big old cylinder, one of those big concrete pipes you see on the side of the road, well, it's already too late. Your car's in the air and now you're in the wall. But Well, these drivers not getting caught out too much. Obviously, we had a couple drivers get a little bit friendly with Cheetah, but nothing too expensive in the damage department. A few drivers going to the pits. Ryan Walker is one of them. Alan McIver, we saw him make a mistake at Cheetah, and he's currently getting his car fixed right up, so he'll be back out in the action in no time at all. But well, after the opening few laps, we've had some people settle down. Mike Landry still under attack from Ryan Yee. Ryan has not let up.
I know. I've been watching him so far. He's on a charge, He wants that P1 though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if Dornelis just does Dornelis things, he's going to be sitting pretty up there in P1. He's just, like we saw at the start, he just took the green flag and just started running with it. He didn't even think twice about it, and Ryan Yee losing out in that. He did lose that provisional P2 to Alvarado, who has held on to it as well. So Ryan Yee, from losing two spots at the start, has gained at least one, and that big blue McLaren is still a very big eyesore that he has yet to get past. And then the question is, even if he does get past Landry, do you think he can keep him at bay?
Actually, I don't know. Ryan Yee is one of the best drivers in terms of cutting through the field, and especially in pace. So let's just see where he can put the car by the end of the race.
Still 44 minutes on the clock, so anything can happen. The race is not done as Landry does go a bit wide. Ryan Yee, though, not close enough to make a move. It looked like he was for a second, but camera angles can be kind of tricky. But as I say that, it looks like Ryan Yee has a run around the outside. As they go into Sunset, it is very difficult to overtake around Sunset. Ryan Yee not quite, as he runs in as much as he can, and he's actually going to go down the inside here of Mike Landry, and it's Ryan Yee finally getting past car 710, and now he's got 420 in his sights. Unfortunately, it's not Snoop Dogg, it's Alvarado.
Nice reference. Well, that was a good move. Honestly, I haven't thought about going wide into Sunset and getting the inside just enough to give me some space when going to the next corner. But yeah, what a move by Ryan Yee, I'm telling you, man. This guy is like, he knows where he knows where he needs to put the car in order for the next car to give him space.
Yeah, he's shown it time and time again, race after race, this whole season. He is a force to be reckoned with. Normally when you go around the outside of Sunset, you're not going to be in a position to make an overtake. That takes a lot of commitment, a lot of bravery. And Ryan Yee has shown that here. So he's got Alvarado in his sights, and quite possibly Dornelis. We'll have to see maybe if the pit stops mix things up a bit. But yeah, an excellent move from him. And we look around the grid a little bit. Chris Frizza still having to deal with Thomas Dagg. They haven't had any exchanges of positions quite yet, but I'm sure if paces are kept to slightly different ranges, we could see something here in the coming laps. Dagg a little later on the brakes, so that will close up the gap just a smidge, but still not close enough for a move. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on the gap and see if it comes down in these laps. But so far, everyone kind of settling in.
Okay, one thing to note though. One thing I noticed, because earlier we noticed that Austin Carpenter was able to overtake Tommy Kogan, and now Carpenter is able to put in a gap of 6 seconds from Kogan, just like from 20 minutes ago, I think. But it just means that either Tommy Kogan is struggling in the Nissan, or Carpenter, with his livery, my wife made me do it, is flying with the Aston here. Because I mean, one of the good cars here is the Aston. Actually, every track the Aston is good, but yeah, one of the good tracks here.
I 100% agree with that. It's just a good car all around, like you said, but especially strong at Kyalami. But Carpenter, well, he's not in South Africa. He's more in no man's land right now. There's nobody for miles. We got somebody off up front though. Who is that? And we got a car off in the back. 177. Uh-oh. Could it
Thomas
be?
Dag.
It's Thomas Dag. He was hunting down Frizza through Cheetah. Ooh.
Boink.
He just, oh man. Oh, that would have been very, very bad had the gravel not been there. That was almost a tank slapper, but that was what you said earlier, Nate, about you just touch the inside of Cheetah just a little bit, and that car, it gets unsettled, and it doesn't send you in the gravel, but it doesn't send you into the wall. Thomas Dag giving us a bit of a showing of that. He's in the pits along with Hasser. So hopefully not too much damage caused to that Makataka, but we'll have to wait and see.
It's quite a good name though, Makataka.
That is a really cool team name. I got to give him points for that. I like that. That's very creative. I never would have thought that. I never would have thought of that in like 1.5 million years. So,
Yeah.
Thomas,
Yeah,
if you see this, great name. Check around the grid. Ryan Walker by himself, also in no man's land. Dave Hasser picking up a drive-through penalty. That might be for speeding in the pit lane, probably on entrance. I know the line, you almost kind of don't expect it. Like, you know generally where it is, but then it just sort of happens to be right in your face, and you slam on the brakes, and maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Who knows? But that is definitely not what he wants to see. So he'll have 3 laps. Never mind, it gets taken away. So I think they'll just, I think the stewards are going to just add a time penalty on. Because if it was a drive-through, he'd have 3 laps to serve it. Ooh, that is Pierce almost getting friendly with the Porsche of Colin Johnson. Thankfully, nothing happened. So yeah, getting through.
It's a back marker, I think.
Yep, Colin Johnson, he'd had a bit of a mistake in the opening stages of this race, so he's been sitting in the back. Unfortunately, it always sucks being a back marker, because now you constantly get your spotter in your ear saying blue flags, and you just want them to shut up.
Yeah, because you don't want to slow down, it just wastes your bit up, to be honest.
Yes, I know I'm slow. Thank you, spotter. You don't need to remind me every 3 seconds. I understand what happened.
I mean, talking about, well, Peach told in the chat, he said, the move around the outside of Sunset is my favorite move here, he said. But need to trust the other driver. Well, clearly, Ryan Yee trusted Michael Landry going into Sunset, so yeah.
Absolutely. Honestly, I've seen people look at it and they go, oh, it just seemed like a hard corner, and then you actually get into it at speed and you go, ah, yes, of course, I was wrong. But yeah, that is definitely a corner where if you're going for an overtake, you absolutely have to put all your trust in the other driver. And it doesn't matter if you're the one overtaking or you're the one trying to not get overtaken. It is definitely one of the most terrifying corners here. Christian Holmes, though, having to defend from James Philbin and Jonathan Clifford, 2 drivers who have done exceptionally well here in the North American Sprint through Cheetah. Looks like Holmes might have taken a bit of a conservative line through there. I know I've seen some drivers get a little bumpy there with Cheetah, and I go, you know what? Maybe I don't need to risk it so much to that turn. Maybe I can just sort of take it easy. I don't have to risk it. I'm all set. I don't need to die today. Maybe tomorrow, but not right now.
Oh yeah, you technically need to take it safe there. That's my strategy when I won here in Kyalami the rookies, but it really depends actually on your car. What I noticed, because many of the mid-engine cars was going later towards the apex, because they're able to do that because they have a light front. But us front-engine cars have to brake, because if we went later like mid-engine cars do, we would understeer so bad we go into the grass and the ground.
Yeah, it's one thing I have noticed with those front-engine cars, especially something like the Bentley. The thing already handles, like a slug in molasses, but You know, you put it through sunset. It's sort of it's interesting. You almost sometimes it feels a little awkward. I remember when I did it. Sometimes just going through that corner, even though I had done it over 300 times, it still felt a little bit awkward going through. But down mineshaft we go. It's McLaren, Aston, Lamborghini here in this three-way battle, and it looks like Philbin just showed himself down the inside there of Holmes, but was not brave enough for a move a little far back too, so he was just showing himself a little psychological warfare here. But Christian Holmes not bothered too much, and it's actually going to be Clifford who's probably putting on the amnesia levels of psychological torture as he's closing the gap up to Philbin a little bit, but still closing it up.
Yeah, I mean, they're really good in terms of battling because they trust each other, obviously. But I mean, you can clearly see that Philbin is just making use of that braking power, trying to find a gap where he can put his nose in the inside of who was that? Who
Holmes.
was the home of Christian Holmes? So yeah, I mean, pretty excited about where this battle is gonna be. So yeah, I mean, Philbin is just making use of that Aston pace. So yeah.
Yeah, Clifford though, he's starting to get a little bit antsy here, doing some of the same tactics you just talked about on the Aston in front. I think Philbin should be able to get this overtake done. Well, unless it's sort of a move through the S's. The S's can be a little bit tricky sometimes, especially if you're a little overzealous and you clip the curb and then your car kind of does a funny jump, and then it's sort of hard to control. But that'll definitely be a space that we keep an eye on. Nicholas Alvarado, the first of the front runners, going into the pits here. 34 minutes on the clock, so I wonder what his strat might be. Perhaps the undercut to end all undercuts.
Yeah, I don't know actually. Let's just wait and just see where Alvarado is able to put his car, or maybe Dornelis is gonna make a mistake, and then we're just gonna see Alvarado get P1 by the end of this pit stop. You know, so I'm excited.
Could be the biggest brain play we've ever seen, but we'll have to wait. The Spangler almost getting overtaken by Medina through Sunset as they go down through the S's here up towards the top of the hill. Medina and Spangler have been doing really well for themselves here. Not just here at Kyalami, but here in Sprint Series. Spangler rather, who's been around for a while. Medina, I believe, is one of the newer drivers. So it has been a blast to have these two here in North America Sprint. I hope to see them again next season. I'll get to ask Ryan and Jeff later tonight after this race is over and done with. But we'll have to wait and see. Spangler currently running P4, Ryan Yee currently running P2, so an excellent showing for both of these drivers thus far. But the man of the hour at the moment is Renato Dornelis, who has been on an absolute rampage here. A 9-second gap since the race started. I mean, I'm not saying that's smurfing, but I mean, come on. He's basically smurfing.
I mean, if you saw his last lap, it was a 141.2, man. That's rapid pace, especially when you're going long into the stint, like what he's doing. So either Renato Dornelis has something that he figured out in the Porsche here, but he's just on a sprint right now. He's on a rampage with doing this pace. 41.2, that's quick for a race pace.
Absolutely. He's taking no chances. He knows what he's here for. He knows what he's got to do. He holds the fastest lap, a 140.9. The only driver to break into the 140s, everyone else sticking in the 41s and the 42s, and a couple people in the 43s. So we'll have to see if anyone else can break that barrier down. But at the moment, it is the Brazilian man. Card number 3. Probably paying homage to the great Dale Earnhardt if I had to bet on it with this level of thrashing. But yeah, 9.5 seconds. Jumping around to the grid, Nick Mosley, he's leaving the pits right now, along with, I believe that is car 36, James Philbin. So some drivers starting to get into the pits already. It's May also in the pits. So we'll see how things shake up as this race progresses. Drivers coming out of the pits might be back markered, so it's going to be a lot of blue flags. So those marshals are definitely going to be given their blue flag waving arms a workout. May picking up a 30-second penalty, stop go. Don't know what that is quite about. It might be for an infringement on the pit lane, but we will have to wait and see.
Yeah. Again, it's my, not me.
Oh, it's my. Oh my god, dude.
Her name, bro.
Listen,
Bro.
Listen. Okay, my brain is like a marble. All right, leave me alone.
I'm just gonna correct you every time you get it wrong, okay? So I'm gonna leave you alone, but I'm gonna correct it.
So it's my, right? My.
It's my.
Okay, like my car.
My car, yeah, my.
Okay, I'm a smart man. All right, I have my moments.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough of
Figure it out.
Listen, I am a college-educated man. Oh goodness. Checking the front of the grid though, Jeff Spangler is still under attack from Medina. He has not given up just yet. These two have been keeping each other honest throughout this race. Jeff though doing an excellent job of keeping the Brazilian driver Ronan Medina behind. It's been quite enjoyable to oversee this. Pereira, Holmes, and Friesen in the pits. So I think we have about half the grid already getting their pit stops done. Yeah, it looks like just about. As Pereira and Holmes are exiting pit lane, and into pit lane goes Ronan Medina just behind Mike Landry. So this will probably be the undercut on Spangler, but for the time being, Spangler will inherit that second position. And Dornelis, well, with that little swap of the driver positions, will open up almost a 16-second gap to the Americans. So we'll have to see how much room Dornelis can make for himself coming out of the pits. 24 minutes still for these drivers to get their tires changed, as Portis and Pierce also going into the pit lane. So we'll see how things shake up as everyone gets through. But yeah, do you think some drivers are going to try to open up a gap? Like Dornelis, for example, do you think he's staying out for a while to try and open up a gap to those already in the pits?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm about to ask you also, but I'm skeptical about Dornelis and Spangler's strategy right now, because by going later, it doesn't give them any benefit. But I mean, if you're pretty confident that your skill and consistency, that you're able to put in the laps faster than anyone, even though you're going long, then I mean, by all means, I mean, it's still finding that gap where there won't be any back markers or any traffic when you're gonna come out of the pits, you know. So that's a strategy. So yeah, I'm still waiting. I mean, again, Dornelis again. Oh, Dornelis is coming in. Dornelis is coming in right now in the pits.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, so clearly he's reacting to most of the front runners pitting. So this is pretty exciting. I think also Spangler going into the pits right now. So they're reacting to Medina, which Medina has a 5-second penalty. I don't know why, but yeah. But this is gonna be exciting because Alvarado is somewhat, you know, that's quite near. That's less than 30 seconds though, where Nicholas is. So let's see.
I'll have to wait.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, we saw Dornelis getting that car stopped rather quickly, and he's actually on the move right now. So Dornelis getting his pit stop done, and he is going to be way ahead here. So an amazingly calculated move out of this man, and it's actually going to be Alvarado that's going to gain the most from this. He is going to leapfrog Spangler, Flomger, Carpenter, Kogan, and Frizza. So his earlier pit stop, absolutely the move to make. In Dornelis, he saw the gap. He knew how long it was going to take to get to his box. He knew how long the pit stop was going to take, and he knew how long it was going to take to get out. So an absolutely beautifully calculated pit stop out of him, and he will retain the lead here as we have passed the halfway mark. 26.5 minutes to go here at Kyalami. for the last race of the season. The penalties coming out here as we take a peek. Ronan Medina given a 5-second penalty for a collision on lap 18. Jerome Mai got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Thomas Pierce also getting a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So it looks like that that penalty, or not the penalty, but the pit lane line catching a lot of people out here.
Yeah, it's pretty far backward, so a lot of people can get caught out by that. I almost got caught out by that. So, yeah.
That makes 2 of us. Jonathan Clifford, though, the only man on the grid who has yet to pit, and I bet as I say that, he's going to be going into the pit, so we're going to hop into the Helicam, get a good look at that green Lamborghini, and, well, he's staying out, so he probably heard what I said, and he was like, that's a really cool prediction there, Nick. You're wrong. So perhaps this is the super mega ultra uber stint.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Jonathan Clifford is trying to do is by going longer, I don't know,
Yep.
by doing that, basically means if he can put out laps faster than the people he was trying to overtake, like the mid pack and the back one, the last packs of the cars. If he can do that and put in the laps until like 20 minutes left, I would say he'll be able to get ahead of the slow runners that is doing like 3/10 or 5/10 slower than his race pace right now. So I think by going long, right now he's able to overcut some of the cars that are going slower than him, which he was trying to overtake in the first place as he started in the pits at the start of the race.
We'll have to see how well this plan plays out for him. He'll absolutely be losing a place to Alvarado and Yi, and then, well, there's quite a line of cars behind that, so Clifford could be seeing red as he gets through his pit stop here, as he goes through Crocodile once more down towards Cheetah. So we'll see if he goes into the pits yet, although if he doesn't, he's still got about 18 and a half minutes to go, and once again he's gonna opt out of that pit stop, so definitely a very, very, very long strat. Hopping around here on the grid, James Philbin still sitting 16th. He's got Mosley behind him. I believe Mosley had a penalty earlier in the race. That has obviously been served, so, well, if you're going to get a penalty, it's better to get it before your pit stop, because you look right now, you've got 4 drivers all with penalties. Medina with 5 seconds, Pierce, Hasser, and Mai, got it, with 10 seconds each. So, well, I saved it. I got it. Listen, it's my brain is now putting the name into a folder that says, please, for the love of God, remember. And we're going to see if that's the case. We don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, one thing to also note is I think Clifford will be able to either be ahead of Kogan or ahead of Hope. That's what I'm still trying to figure out in my head.
Well,
Pretty excited where he's gonna put that car, but yeah, it's a good strategy. Honestly, if we're a pro, let's have good pace but started at the back.
I think looking at where he is on the map, or where he is on the track, he's going down Mineshaft right now. If he pits right now, I think he should come out ahead of Kogan. Kogan is, I think, having a little bit of a spat here. Or no, Kogan's, okay, yeah, he'll definitely come out in front of Kogan. Maybe. I might have actually mispredicted that. Jonathan Clifford, though, still opting out of the pit stop. We got a couple groups forming here. Michael Landry sitting in 5th position. Ronan Medina behind him with a 5 seconds. So even if Medina gets around the McLaren here, as long as Landry keeps him within 5 seconds, he will effectively gain that position back. But should Medina get around him and slip away in the final 20 minutes here, then Landry, if that gap opens up a little too much, will end up losing that position. Thomas Pierce, also a driver with a penalty. He's got about half a second between himself and Portis. A little bit less, but with that 10-second penalty looming over his head, I don't think it's going to be too much to soften the blow should he get past the Honda into the top 10. And then you've got Dave Hasser as well with that 10-second, and then poor Mai down there in last position with, or not last position, excuse me, 23rd. We have 24 drivers here today, but yeah. So some of these guys getting the penalty will have an absolute massive change to their finishing position. Others, not so much, but we'll have to wait and see. Thomas Pierce, for example, with the 10-second gap, 10.8, almost 11 to Carpenter. So should it stay like this, it'll be effectively an 8/10 of a second gap, and it really shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, Clifford again. Tommy Kogan, or not Tommy Kogan, excuse me, Alvarado behind. So we'll see. Does Clifford go into the pits? Place your bets now. All right, bets are over. The answer's no.
Yeah, but the bet should be where he's gonna be by the end of it. Either Carpenter, ahead of Kogan, or ahead of Holmes. So it's. I mean, he's lapping quite good, you know. He's doing around 42 mids, which is like faster than half of the grid, or almost half of the grid, which is he was trying to overtake earlier. So you know, this is a good strategy. But I mean, if he's trying to defend Alvarado here, he's gonna lose so much time, and he's basically destroying his own strategy. So I would say just let Alvarado go, get those laps, get those consistency, just enough so that you're going to be ahead of some of the drivers by the end of the stint.
I also just thought, perhaps, now I know the tire wear isn't as massive in this discipline as others, but I'm wondering if perhaps Clifford's going to gamble on his ability to race on very, very fresh tires while his opponents are going to be on very worn tires. So maybe he's looking for that kind of a strategy in order to make something happen here. But we'll just have to wait and see. He's still sitting in second place. Alvarado just sort of showing himself on the inside, saying, hey man, you still got a pit. You got 13 some odd minutes. I'd like to get past you. Thank you very much. And Clifford, unfortunately, I think his phone might be broken. Alvarado, though, I don't think he's going to go for it. I think Alvarado actually might. No, he's a little too close. Had to lift there, I think. So I think Alvarado might just sort of cuddle up in this third position and just wait for Clifford to pit, because he knows he's going to gain that position and he's not going to lose it, especially with the gap down to Ryan Yee. So I don't know. Alvarado might just be on for the ride.
I think also, I think Clifford actually was supposed to let Alvarado go into the last corner, because the last corner is the corner where you lose the least amount of time when you're letting by someone. So here, I mean, here we see clearly Clifford is just letting Alvarado go because he doesn't want to lose the time, because he's not battling with the front runners. He's battling ahead of the pit. So that's a good strategy. Clifford sucks that he lost a lot of time because he didn't. Alvarado was not able to figure out what Clifford wanted to do in the last quarter. But yeah, I mean, Clifford going wide.
Hold on, we had
just dead tires.
We had a Mai that went off in the background. I think it's a little too late to look. That is definitely Mai in the pits. My oh my, and we got McIver as well. What is going on? This is at Sunset, coming down the hill. It goes a bit wide onto the very, oh boy, that's a big hit. That is not a happy Nissan. That is one of the sections of this track where you truly can completely ruin your car if you get it wrong. Obviously, Cheetah is going to be one of them, but even
Clifford in the pits.
Yeah. Oh, Clifford in the pits. Oh, there he is. Yep, Clifford in the pits finally. So let's see where he comes out. This this big group of cars are going to be coming through. It's Landry, Mendina, Spangler. We got Flomger passing through. Portis, Ryan Walker, Thomas Pierce. Austin Carpenter are going to be picking up position here. So now it's up to Tommy Kogan. If you've bet on Kogan coming out behind Clifford, you better get your wallets ready. You better hit up the people who've bet against you. Well, because Kogan is going to pick up that position. So I believe Clifford should come out ahead of Holmes.
It's Holmes. It's Holmes.
It's
ahead of
Holmes.
Holmes? No. Yeah, ahead of Holmes. Wow. Clifford, no.
That was, oh, you hate to see it. He was up in second just because he didn't pit, but now he's going to be sitting way down the grid. And there he is, out of the pits, fresh tires, possibly some fuel, maybe a slight body adjustment into P13. So the man who is doing pretty well for himself now finds himself a little too far back. Renato Dornelis, though, he has been on a absolute rampage. The gap has actually gone down to Alvarado. I believe it was about 15 or so seconds a few laps ago, and now it's about 9.5, so hopefully Renato's got just enough gas left in the tank, both literally and metaphorically, as we get ready to close in on the final 15 minutes for North America Blue here at Kyalami, and then after this we'll be hopping over to North America Red. Ryan Walker, though, still having to deal with Pierce, although Pierce the 10-second penalty, so nothing to worry about there. He's got Portis in front of him, but I don't think Ryan is really in any place to go for a move here. I think he might just settle into this P9. He knows he has it in the bag. Now, with the 10-second on Pierce, Austin Carpenter, currently, I think he was 9 seconds, but I think it might actually end up being, yeah, it's going to be more. So Carpenter's got to hope for some mistake out of Pierce to gain that position. Oh, it is about 9 seconds. Okay, so if Carpenter can keep this, if he can keep this gap for the remainder of the race, he will, I won't even say leapfrog, he'll get catapulted from where he is now. He'll get catapulted up into 10th position, which will be a very good result for him and his wife, who apparently, I'm sure she's sitting in the engineer's stall just cheering him on and saying whatever cute phrases she's got. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's actually a good point, though. But Thomas Pierce is gonna be wanting either make Walker push or either overtake Walker and then make that 10-second gap from Carpenter, because that's the only thing he can do, actually. So Ryan Walker should push if he wants Pierce to get that P10 still.
That's true. Or maybe you do something devilish and just sort of back the other driver up. I mean, I'm not suggesting you should do that, but you know, if you want, you are your own person. But no, I don't
say you can't. Yeah.
we're not saying you can't. We're just saying you shouldn't. That doesn't mean you have to listen to us. We are just two voices on the internet, and Ryan Walker getting a little bit out of shape. So, whoops. Sorry about that, Ryan. We apologize for the inconvenience that has just befallen you. So now Thomas Pierce opened up that gap, so it looks like Carpenter might be out of there. Yeah, about 10.3 seconds. So that is not what he wants. Michael Landry, though, he's got Ronan Mendina trying to hunt him down here for this P4. Oh, never mind. He's got a penalty. Ah, God, I don't have eyes. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
PJ saying cheated. I think so, yeah. Thankfully, it didn't end in heartbreak for our friend Mr. Walker. And he is still walking, so good for him.
That's nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, half of this job is just like, how can I make jokes with people's names? What can I do? Or like their number. Like how I said earlier, you know, hunting down 420, it's not Snoop Dogg, it's Alvarado. You know, it's like half the job. It's just like, yes, I'm going to make jokes about your name and your number, and we're good.
Yeah. I'm not that intelligent to just put it out just like that, you know? So you're pretty good there.
Is that the word we're using to describe that? Intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Intelligence is noticing those things by a snap. So I mean, here clearly, I mean, talking about battling, Ronan Medina is trying to find something to get ahead of Michael Landry because I mean he wants that P5
He does, but
ahead of Spangler. Yeah.
he's got to open up that gap. He has to open up a 5-second. He's got 2.5 between himself and Spangler. And then I believe he should be safe from Flomger. But yeah, even if Ronan Medina does get ahead of Landry, he'll have, we'll say 10 minutes to open up that gap. And I mean, Landry's been running very consistent laps. Low 42s. His best is a 41.5 even. So I don't think so. I think he might not be able to. Mendina's last lap was a 42.08, and his best lap was a 41.2. But I don't know. I don't see Mendina getting around Landry anytime soon. And even if he does, he's not going to be able to open up that gap wide enough to take advantage and nullify his penalty.
Yeah, let's see, man. I mean, clearly Landry knows how to defend, but yeah, we're on board here with Gabriel Pereira. It's not Pereira.
Pereira. Yeah, I guess Philbin and Johnson there. So Johnson in a bit of a Porsche sandwich. A little bit of ham there for his troubles as he goes a bit wide through turn 2, and that's actually going to give Johnson. Oh, I meant Philbin's in a Porsche sandwich. My apologies. But no, Johnson trying to hunt down Philbin for this P16, make it 15-16 for the German manufacturer. But Philbin holding on well through Sunset. Once more down the hill, couple different lines. You saw Philbin did go a bit wide, but it wasn't enough to give Johnson anything.
I mean, because he's on the Aston, so technically that's how you take that corner, unlike some of the rear engine and mid-engine cars.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm telling you about being front engine. You have to take things later in order for you to even survive the corner or just make the corner properly. So yeah.
Gabriel Pereira hunting down Holmes. Dr. Holmes, unfortunately, not here at the track to assist. Watson's probably somewhere off in the distance doing whatever it is Watson did. I'm going to be real, I didn't really read the books or watch the movie. Actually, I think I did. I think in high school I had to read it.
The series is amazing, though.
I've heard everyone's talked to me about it. Like, it's so good. You gotta read it. You gotta watch it. I'm like, dude, I don't even understand half the things that are going on in there. I'm just like, yes, Holmes solved the case. I don't know how it happened. He's got
You're gonna
something.
like the humor, man. Yeah, you're gonna like the humor from that series, the UK series. It's really amazing.
We've got some technical errors going on. What is happening?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, boy, I don't know what just happened. Did my game crash? It might have.
Yeah, most likely I think the game crashed though. But
Alright,
let's
sorry.
see.
Let me
Can you figure it out?
I think possibly, yeah. Let me see if it's not responding. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Let me just relaunch the game. That is the first time that's happened in a while. Unable to sync. I don't care about that Steam. I'm just trying to watch a video game. So we'll get that up. Yeah, can you give us some radio show play-by-play here while I get back in the game?
Hey everyone, so pretty sorry about technical issues. Something happened with the application and the game just crashed. But hey, hello everyone. I'm here to entertain all of you while we're waiting for the stream to get back on. But talking about we're in actually, so that's quick. That's nice, and I don't have to make a fool out of myself while this is
You never
happening.
do that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm just happy, that a lot of, 14 or 11 people are still watching. So thank you everyone for these amazing races. Thank you everyone for participating and just being in the NA split, because the NA split needs a lot of love, because not a lot of people are in NA in our league, and it's pretty dominated by the AP. But yeah, NA is a good split really, because
Best split.
We have a safe race, best one, good drivers, no issues, no penalties that much, no crashes, no safety cars.
I was fully
So,
expecting you to say no penalties. It's like, are you sure
no,
about
no,
that?
no. I got that. but yeah,
goodness.
yeah, guys. But it's this split is amazing for me, and I'm just really thankful that I get to commentate here because this is actually my first time, guys. If anyone who's watching right now doesn't know that it's my first time for this season. Actually, this is my debut season in commentating. So yeah, this is like, I mean, I would say this is radio local because my online handle is ultimate local.
I mean,
so this is radio local.
You've done an amazing job though for your first season. You know, at the start you were a little bit hesitant, a little bit, I gotta find my footing. But once you did, I mean, you ran away with it. So I mean, I've been absolutely honored to have you in the booth. You've been incredible, and I'm genuinely happy that I get to work with you and Casey and Jeff and Ryan, and it has absolutely been an experience. We had a JC question for comms. Pineapple on your pizza. JC, I swear to whatever holy deity you pray to, if you give me pineapple pizza, I'm putting you in the dirt with the pizza. Actually, no, I would never hurt Mother Earth like that. Never mind. I'll probably burn the pizza.
Who would even eat pineapples on pizza, man?
This just feels like, I don't understand. Like, it's like you have the pizza, it's warm, it's gooey, and then you have like kind of chilled. Oh, hold on, we gotta jump back. Frizza and it looks like Dag interrupting our conversation. You see Dag go down the inside, and that's the McLaren of, I believe, yeah, that's Dag. So it looks like Dag just got a little too ambitious on the brakes there. Frizza able to slip by without getting a second hit, and he's sitting behind Dag right now, actually. So Chris Frizza has not had the best race. This is definitely going to be a sour note to end off on. Not his race. I don't know if he just has trouble with Kyalami. I know drivers will have trouble with certain tracks. But for now, sitting P22, unfortunately. You hate to see it. I thought for sure it was going to be, I believe it was Friesen, or no. I thought that might have been Dornelis that he might have gotten contact with, but no, this is driver on the same lap. And Dornelis, though, he's having a field day right now. The gap has yet to update, so you could say his race frazzled. PJ, puns are my thing. That confused me, but I like it. All right, 16-second gap though from Dornelis to Alvarado. Dornelis started on pole. He's been sitting up front all day. Got an excellent run off the line. He was challenged a bit into turn one, and from there it was really nothing. Alvarado slotted behind, and Ryan Yee back up into P3. So from a very shaky start from third to fifth, makes it back up to third. So should he hold it together, it'll be another podium for him. 3 minutes to go here for North America Blue, and then we will send her off in a shower of fireworks and flame until the next season. That will surely crop up in a few weeks' time. So if you're looking to go up from rookies into sprint, they will be I'm sure they'll be opening up applications soon. You can fill it out, send it in, and then wait. I will say the time between me putting in my application and getting the response was a while, but then again, they have to keep it open for quite some time, and they have to go through every single one. So, if you put an application in, don't worry. At some point they will get to you and say, hey, you made it, or you didn't. So if you're looking to up your game a little bit here in ACC, and you've been in our rookie series, sprint might be the thing for you, or perhaps even endurance series. I feel like we don't really talk about endurance a lot, just in general, because you look at sprint and you go, hour-long races and that's it. But when you look at endurance, it's, I believe, 3 hours a race once a month. So if you're into that, you can go for it. Oop, we got car 29 off. That's Friesen. Oh boy, what do you think?
Very unlucky, man. That Friesen
so far.
Oh, that it. Ooh.
I think
Oh
Cheetah.
my God! No, that
Yeah,
wasn't Cheetah. No, he
What?
no, he got into the runoff area a little
Yeah.
too wide, and that oh boy, that is not looking pretty. Yeah, you can see the hood of that Ferrari propped up, so he's definitely going to be hurting. If we actually hop into helmet cam, we might be able to see.
That's an oof, man.
Yeah,
F in chat. F in chat.
big F. Let's catch up with.
Yeah, because I mean, the Ferrari has so much responsiveness in terms of acceleration. Like the power is just on point when already you're already at throttle, and it gives so much wheel spin, man. So I think that's why when he went out wide and then he put on the power, the car just wheel spinned and the car tail whips. And yeah, from there, I'm gonna tell something about the chat.
Oh, hold on. We've got Landry getting a little bit friendly with Mendina. We're gonna roll that one back just really quick before we hop in with chat. I see what's going on, you guys. You need to behave. Through sunset, and oh, Mendina, yeah, just forgot to hit the brakes. I mean, he's got the respect to sit there and wait, but I'm sure Landry is gonna be very unhappy. He goes from 4th down to 7th as we start the final lap. Or actually, no. We won't start the final lap. It's going to be Dornelis. He's going to end the season off here with a win at Kyalami. So Dornelis on top, and Alvarado, look at the gap. So we've got quite a lot of time between these two. Nicholas Alvarado rounding the final corner is going to make it.
Wow.
2nd position. And Brian Yee started 3rd, fell to 5th, got back up to 3rd. And he's going to find himself back on the podium here at the end of the season.
I mean, again, that was a good scrap from Ryan Yee, even though he had a bad start. And yeah, congrats, man. Damn,
Absolutely.
He was flying all this season, man.
He was. Spangler picking up 4th, Flomger 5th, Portis 6th, Landry unfortunately having to settle for 7th. He goes into the wall. He is very unhappy with that result. I'm sure he'll be muttering some words. Catching up with chat though. The Porsche is friggin' strong here, absolutely. PJ, darkest one. French fries and Oreos on pizza. I'm not even going to comment on that, because if I comment on it, Mullock is going to come in here and remove me from the booth physically. And Jared saying, I'll fill my app out and preemptively tell myself, sorry, didn't make it, and delete it. Ah, come on, Jared. I'll tell you right now, they're probably going to look at it and go, yeah, you can join. You seem like a good driver. As long as you've been solid in rookies, and you prove that, hey, you're a good driver, they'll let you in 100%. So I'd say fill it out. Man, you never know. Maybe you'll get it. And we got some little shenanigans going on here. It's Prairie 14th, Holmes 15th, Philbin 16th, and Colin Johnson P17. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for North American Blue Split. What a race we had here.
Yeah, I mean, really, it was quite a good race, even though not a lot of things happened for some time. But yeah, it was fun. A lot of strategies, different techniques, overtaking here, overtaking there. It was a fun race and a clean race also, even though there was some incidents happening.
Absolutely. So we're gonna hop through tables here. It's Pereira and Mosley. 1-2 for silver, amateur class, Friesen and Mai. Got it right. Mai with that 10-second penalty. Pro-Am, it's Mendina, Kogan, and Holmes. 1, 2, 3. And overall, it's Dornelis, Alvarado, and Ryan Yee on the podium overall. Even with that 20-kilo handicap, Dornelis made very, very short work. Ryan Yee and Jeff Spangler will be joining us here in the booth in just a bit. But, Nate, it has been an absolute blast casting with you. I've enjoyed every second of it, and I do wish you the best of luck in the future, whatever you may be going into in life and in the OOR. I really do wish you the best, my man.
Thank you, man. I mean, for sure I'm still going to be commentating, but it really depends on my schedule for my review. But yeah, I mean, talking about the race, talking about just in general,
congrats to Ryan Yee, because from my understanding, Ryan Yee is now the NA Split Blue champion, pro champion. Right?
Yeah, I think we should also talk about the format we do for the championship. So we're not doing what we normally do, which is you go through the season and, you know, points at the end. I believe what we're doing now is taking X number of drivers from the, I guess, the seasons or whatever, and then going and doing some like super mega thing. I don't know. I someone told me, and because I have a small brain, I don't remember. But we'll have to wait and see what that's all about. NA Red, I don't see your server, unfortunately. What is going on? But, yeah, that'll do it for Blue, and unfortunately, that'll do it for Nate. I will miss you, buddy. Like I said, best of luck out there, and I'm sure everyone else will be missing your lovely voice.
When is the start of the season, though?
I believe it will be, I want to say sometime in April, probably. I don't know exactly when, so for those of you that are looking to get into looking to get into the Sprint Series here in whatever region you may be in, absolutely just keep an eye out for announcements about the Sprint Series, and fill out your application, send it in, and you know, you might make it in, and you probably will. Jared, I believe in you, Jared, all right? I believe in you. You're going to make it. I'm going to cast. I'm going to be like, that Jared guy, I know him. He's going to make it. Or maybe you're in a different region. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think he's NA, Jared.
Well, if he is, then perfect. I'll cast his races, and I'll give him shout-outs. JC saying,
the
no
M4.
red server. No red server, question mark.
Yeah, so far.
So far.
So,
I mean, let's just talk about, what do you think of the season, man? What
Season was
your
wicked good.
favorite?
Season was really,
race?
really good. I thoroughly enjoyed casting all these races. We had some amazing battles here throughout everything. It was a pleasure to watch, pleasure to cast. Congrats to all these drivers in North America Blue. We're still waiting on North America Red, but it has absolutely been incredible. Every season, I feel like, is always amazing to watch over. So hopefully Red can uphold that, and also uphold the whole, hey, we're keeping it clean through to the end of everything. So we'll have to see if North America Red can keep up the safety carless streak. But I'll turn to it, Kyalami. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I like Red, though, because there's only one Bentley driver, which is Gozar. Although, sorry, there's two drivers, but there's only one that is always participating in Red, which is Gozar, right? That's what I remember.
I believe so. Yeah, a lot of these drivers just saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to do some damage." Well, not actually do some damage, but you know, be like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to race. I don't know what about you guys, but I'm getting ready. I'm also getting ready to lose my freaking marbles because I want to watch some race cars go burr around the track."
Hey, congratulations, man. So we have here Ryan Yee in the booth
there he
right
is.
now.
Ryan,
Congratulations.
yeah, take us through it. You started third on the grid, and you had a bit of a hiccup at the start, but you brought it back, and you finished third. So take us through that race.
Yeah, I almost jumped the start, so that's why I was slow off the line.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, the green light came a lot later than I was expecting, and I jabbed the throttle expecting it to come up, and it just didn't, and I had to back out of it. And then, of course, I was hesitant from there, but... So yeah, that was my start, and then it really was just a case of keeping on the track, because I didn't need to do anything crazy to, you know, stay in the championship, so decided not to. And I guess it all worked out. Ended up P3, just by people in front making mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you had the championship basically from the start. You kind of just said, hey, I'm all set. I'm going to go run away with this. Thank you very much. So absolutely deserved on your part. Hey, there it is. There's North America Red. We've been waiting on that, so we're going to go hop into there. Get ready for some track action here. All the drivers getting in, so thankfully we got that. But yeah, an incredible job out of you, Ryan, and hopefully we get to see Jeff a bit later.
There's a question for comms, man.
Okay.
So the question from JP is, what's the worst GT3 car and why is it the GTR? I mean, come on, man. It's not the GTR. It's actually the M4.
It's the Audi.
For me, it's the M4.
Audi.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Does it drive bad though, Ryan?
The new Audi?
Yeah.
I only did like one lap of Brands last night, and it didn't feel bad, but I'm not informed enough to say.
So the answer is yes.
It felt bad at Nürburgring when I tried it. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's definitely a lot safer than the last one, for sure.
I haven't tried it.
I don't like the TC also. You should try it, man. Really.
I should. I should also try and find the stupid broadcaster tool, because every time we switch servers, it just forgets that it exists. And it's like, I can't connect. It's like, no, you know you can. You've done it. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, all right, we're going to restart you. So let's see if I can connect to the server. It's not like detrimental to my success. It's not like I'm, suffering. It's just like, bro, minor inconvenience. I have nothing to complain about. All right, let's see. There it is. All right, we in there.
Oh, speaking of broadcasting systems, do you happen to know the third-party app, which is ACC Drive, guys?
I haven't heard of that. What is it, Nathan? We're not sponsored, right?
So, because I signed up for LFM recently, and apparently they're making an application that can basically change strategies at the go by your teammates.
What's it
Which
called?
is like one of the features.
Oh, I've seen that actually.
Yeah, ACC Drive. It's gonna be online in April 3, I think. It's gonna be online April 3. It's gonna be a one-time payment, which is around 20 euros.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that. And right now, I think, it's gonna be one of the pretty much the game changers in terms of third-party apps, to be honest, because it's excited for that.
No,
How about you?
I think it'll be interesting, especially with we got the 12-hour spot coming up. I feel like some people will probably end up using it for that, so it'll be interesting to see if they can maybe make something work. But I'm excited for it. I mean, $20, that's not even bad.
No, 20 euros.
Oh, euros. Okay, sorry. So it's gonna be like 17 something or whatever the conversion. And I don't know. I don't remember. I don't care. I don't use euros. I use dollars because if I went into somewhere with a euro, they'd be like, "Sir, please leave." Just feel like, all right, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But yes, we're here in North America Red, so hopefully once everybody's in here, they give them a little bit more time and warm up, and then we'll be into qualifying number 2 this evening in the very, very, very last race for the sprint season. We had AP yesterday, we had EU earlier today, and now saving the best for last always, North America. So we'll see if Red Split can give us some excitement that matches or exceeds Blue Split, and we'll also see if they can match the number of safety cars that Blue Split had, but that'll be for time to tell and for us to cast.
And before I go, man, I like to shout out Mr. Casey Gold in the NA Split Red, our co-commentator for Split Blue, and we just missed you, Casey, so good luck. I didn't know you were the other Bentley driver, so
I think he was playing
luck,
Siege.
man.
I checked earlier when I pinged you guys. I'm like, are you guys ready to cast? And I was like where's Casey? So I saw his name in the little side. Yeah, I saw his name in the sidebar, and I was just like, oh, let's click on it, and I just see Rainbow Six Siege. I'm like, okay, so hopefully he's in a match. Yeah, I respect it. Man's got priorities. Oh goodness, Casey, we love you, buddy. You know we do.
See you guys. I had fun. See you next season for another commentator gig.
Absolutely.
So congrats, Ryan, again, man.
Of course.
Thank you. Have a good night.
See you.
See you later, Nate. All right, so the question is, will Mr. Star Spangled Mangler, Jeff Spangler with the Plangler, join us tonight? Because he had a pretty good race, though. Finished in P4, which was very good for him.
Yeah, I think he told me like his tires were unfortunately falling off at the end, but it looks like he made it work.
Bono, my tires are gone. Yeah, made it
work. He's offline on Discord too. I'll send him a message.
I'm sure he's having a victory shot right now, so we'll be seeing him soon, of course. Yeah, Ultimate Local. Man's got his priorities. Casey being a beast. Yes, sir. Absolutely. 100%. PJ with Mud Wrestling and Alligator is safer than the old Audi at Eau Rouge. Can't relate, because I only drive Chadmobiles. And then Jared earlier saying, now you sound like my therapist. Stop. No, I will pump you up. I will cheerlead. I will be your hype man. I got you covered. But yeah, we still sitting here in practice. I'm sure the drivers and the stewards and the race director had a conversation figuring out, just how much time to give these drivers on the track. Hamza Gulzar here on screen now, the man of the of Red Split. I mean, he's been on an absolute tear here in Red. Hasn't really looked back at the start of races. He just sort of goes and that's it. We saw last week, I believe it was, him going from way down on the grid due to the reverse grid and then bringing it all the way back up to a first place finish. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how good he is, nothing does. But here we go into qualifying. So this will be the final qualifying session for North American Red Split. Drivers already getting out on track. It looks like Zach Patterson and Snelltrain, the first two out on track. And well, Ryan, did you bring your umbrella by chance? Because I kind of forgot mine.
I was really hoping for rain. It's the only way I'd stay at the front, like very front, in the Ferrari here. But it's gonna be interesting seeing the Hondas, because if you don't know, they got in the recent patch, they're basically a whole new car now. It's basically the Evo.
The Evo.
Yeah, the Evo 2, whatever Evo 22 people are
Evo
calling
squared.
it. Yeah. So it's got a lot more downforce, more mechanical settings. Also, it's got more brake bias, or it allows you to go farther back. So, yeah, it's a whole new car pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't quite read the patch notes just yet. I just sort of saw it, and I was like, all right, what's getting buffed? I was like, what's getting buffed? What's getting nerfed? All right, all that, great, don't care. I'm gonna drive.
Well, the worst part is they didn't say anything in the patch notes about it.
Wait, did they not? I thought they did.
Not about they said Honda BOP changed at all tracks, but they said that about 4 cars.
Oh, okay.
But like, you can't just like, this is a whole new car, you know, you can't just say it's a new BOP.
Well, you can. I mean, no one's gonna check. Check in with chat real quick. Vertus says, well, I'm glad the season's over for me. Switching cars for next season. Hopefully not messing up that much. Ultimate Local, Alan, no more GTR Master Race, is a Vertus, or rather Alan, replies, nope, time for me to move on, sadly, I'll miss it. You know what, I think Sprint is like a really good way of getting used to the cars and how they handle. So I'd say, even if you didn't have the best season, getting to know your car a bit better, or know a car a bit better, will help sort of dictate where you go in the future. Jared asking, when's the Jag buff coming? I don't think the Jag needs a buff. I think it's pretty overpowered already. I mean, if you buff it, that's sort of like, running into a bonfire with a tank of gas and being like, $300, go! And then making a massive fireball.
We have the Jag Evo. It's called the Lexus.
Wow. Wow. That's rude. Absolute rude dude, Ryan. You're Canadian. You're supposed to be nice.
It's the same team, so I can say that.
Alright, fair enough. In that case, I'll let it slide this time. But next time, I don't know. We'll see. We'll consider. Yeah, getting through qualifying. Drivers starting to get their flying laps going. There's still a couple people sitting in the pits. Gulzar and Gold have yet to leave the two boats. Nunez joining the server, so he'll be out on track in a bit. Car 10, that is pace. He is way off the pace. He's actually so off the pace that he doesn't exist. He was in the void, and he disappeared. So probably just a connection issue. We'll see. Hopefully he can reconnect. Still 6.5 minutes to go qualifying, so no rush just yet. Safety car joining us here at this lovely South African track. So Sam Snelltrain, the first one out of the pits, or I believe the second one out of the pits. No, he's first, because I believe I forget who it was. Someone was right behind him. But Sam Snelltrain, Patterson, yep. Snelltrain sets pole, and Patterson comes through. He says 42.08. About half a second, so Patterson setting the bar pretty high here early. Levine across the line, P3, Sear P4, LePage up to P3, so Levine and Sear are going to lose their positions, and the next person across the line, it looks to be car 46, that's Geiger. That Geiger counter's clicking, and it's counting up 5, and here comes the rain. 5 minutes to go in qualifying, so now here's the question. How long will it take the track to get wet? And then if it gets wet enough, do you throw on the wet tires?
Oh, it started raining.
Yep. Thank you, Ryan. How was the brain lag?
Yes. Yes,
Nice.
It was. I wasn't looking, honestly. I just heard you say how long is the track before, gonna take to get wet, and now it's wet. So.
Wait, you mean if you put water on a track continuously, the track gets wet?
Whoa.
What? PJ,
Brain
fun
is
fact.
large.
Kyalami means home in... Oh, I'm gonna butcher that. Josa? Oh god, I definitely butchered that. Okay. Anyways, Patterson, though, still on top. It's Kurt Moss, though, sitting in P2. He's in the pit, so he might be popping on the wets and waiting to see if he can maybe gain some time, although I don't know. We'll see. Zoza is an African dialect that has a click in it. Does it? I don't know. Anyways, what were you going to say, Ryan? I'm sorry.
Yeah, track conditions are not going to improve from the times that are already on the board, so looks like Zach Patterson's already pole position.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's still out on track, though. The Delta 4.6, that doesn't really matter. He has started another lap here at Kyalami through the kink, down into turn 2. So, with turn 2, Ryan, Nate and I had this conversation, and we inquired as to whether or not Blue Split would be able to get through turn 2 nicely. So, I now pass the question off to you. Will Red Split get through turn 2 cleanly, or will we potentially see the end of the safety car dry spell?
Looks like the rain's not going to go away when the race starts, or that's what it looks like to me. So I'm going to say there's going to be some taps, but it's not going to be a disaster.
Well, thankfully, we'll have to wait and see. Thankfully, Mullick isn't here, so we don't have to worry about the car parks or the 12 meters. That is, I gotta tell you something. When Mullick gets like that, it is, oh my god, it's so funny. It is the funniest thing in the world. It's great. It is great. So it looks like a lot of drivers in the pits, and some drivers coming out of the pits. Stevens being one of them. Car 67, that's LePage, getting out on track. Car 11, that is driven by none other than, it's not telling me. Oh, that's 17. I'm sorry, I can't read. 117, that's actually Nunez. And then car 5 is Davis. So it looks like some of these drivers out on wets, perhaps, maybe trying to find time where they can. But like you said earlier, if the track's getting damp, yeah, it looks like times may not improve. Patterson, though, He doesn't have to worry. He's got pole position for the time being, so 2.5 minutes to go. See if anyone else can move around the grid.
And we can welcome Jeff Spangler to the
There
booth.
he is. Jeff, my man.
Hey guys,
You had...
how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. You had quite the race here. Walk us through it. You ended up in a comfortable P4.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm smiling when I'm seeing this damp track for these guys, but just glad that we could get a nice sunny day. That really made things a lot easier for sure. But yeah, I've been out of town this week for work, so I got home. My wheel didn't want to work. I was a little rushed, so I was very happy to qualify where I did and just run my race with not a whole lot of drama. I don't know. Lexus definitely feels a little different after this this new patch, not as planted. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion. The setup guys making their changes. People might not be, maxing their toe all over. I think you made a change there, Ryan, but I just, with lack of practice time this week, I just went ahead and said, hey, I'm just going to stick with what I know, and tires were not very happy.
Well, it was still an amazing result, though, I have to say. Even if you were struggling, getting a P4 while effectively fighting your own car to keep in the direction you want it to go is a feat in and of itself, and is something that I don't think we can discount too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, shout out to Rhoda Medina. I was ahead of him, and then following him coming out of the pits. He ran a good race. It's just a shame. Had a little accident there, so I got bailed out for my P4. But you take it, as you said, you take it any way you can get it. No complaints.
Certainly good to see. So as we get here to the end of qualifying, I don't think we're going to have any more position changes. Zach Patterson getting his best Tokyo drift on here. Honda's definitely known for their drifting on tracks, of course, not just in general. I don't know. I don't drift my cars. I can't drift my car. It's a front-wheel drive. But
Put it in reverse.
Don't give me ideas, Ryan. Please stop. You're a bad influence. Nobody listen to Ryan. He's a very bad influence.
Yeah, don't put your car in reverse, kids.
Okay, wait, hold on. It's not what I meant. Oh my God, you're something, Ryan. You know that you're a great addition.
Yeah.
I completely forgot to ask you two guys. So with sprint season over for you, what is the plan moving forward?
For just like overall?
In sim racing, in the OOR overall, whatever you got. What's the agenda looking like moving forward?
For me, I got into SRO, which I put in some laps, and I saw the top of the grid, and I was like, whatever. I kind of don't want to get in with the grid, but it turns out enough people failed to ping check, so I got in anyway. So that's on my list, and then I'll probably be here for the next sprint season with OOR. I don't know what car I'm gonna take, but that'll be my decision for later on.
Awesome.
Yeah, not an SRO over here. But yeah, planning on doing the next season of Octane. Get a feeling they might spice things up a little bit. I think they already said we're going to do away with the ballast, which is a little controversial depending on your point of view. This season, my Sunday league is off for a little while, so I'll probably do a few fun things there, and I think I'm going to start racing Saturday nights for the time being. So there's always something out there.
That's true. Will you guys be returning to the booth, or is it just going to be behind the wheel? Take
Good
that
question.
as a no.
Yeah, I don't think commentary is like for me, unfortunately.
Well, that's fine.
Well, I think it is, but anyways, no, I'm. If they'll have me back, I'll be back.
Oh boy, my
All right, we've ticked over here, and this is gonna be interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
a rain-soaked track. It's gonna rain, and then sort of, kind of just stick around 10 minutes in, and then by 30 minutes, hopefully we'll see some drying conditions, but probably not. You look at the skies; they're cloudy. You look at the forecast; it says cloudy. Temps 19 ambient, 24 on track. and these cars can only disperse so much water. So we'll see if perhaps, maybe, quite possibly, there are conditions for slicks, but I don't know about that. What do you guys think?
Well, we have an hour race and 18 cars on the grid, discounting the safety car. I don't see any sun there in 30 minutes, so should stay cloudy, which I think hinder the drying out of the track. As we look down the grid here, major flex coming from P19 right now. You know, you get bored. You get bored. Yeah.
Where's the first challenge?
Where's the first challenge?
You know
get
what?
Bored, you start playing with your food. So
let's
there you go.
all right. Let's place the bet. Do we think Gulzar is gonna grab a P1 here at Kyalami to top off his season from dead last on the grid? What are we thinking?
I think Patterson's gonna have a good chance at this one.
Ooh, that's true. Patterson's a very quick driver. We saw it in qualifying. No issue with the track. He got out before it started raining, was able to put his lap in, so he's going to be very happy about that. But we clicked down.
Yeah, I think with the conditions the way they are, that'll throw a few more curveballs for folks and make things interesting. But yeah, I think Patterson's up there. I don't think we've seen him up. Is he nodding in satisfaction? Is that what we're watching?
He's
here?
vibing.
He's vibing.
Oh,
He's got
he's
music
vibing.
going. What song would Casey be listening to at this moment?
Oh, I don't know.
Our house in the middle of our street.
And it's just that lyric over and over again. Oh God.
Yeah, good to see Kurt Moss up there on the front row. I think that's his highest qualifying result this season. And of course, Sam Snelltrain back after missing a week, with Mathis LePage leading the field for the Pro-Ams there. So yeah, good little mix-up here.
Absolutely. Drivers, well, they're trying to figure out the straight line. You can see Patterson getting kind of close to the safety car. You don't need to get that close, but if you want to give the Jag a kiss, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. You're your own man. But I think coming through some of these corners is going to be very interesting, especially at Sunset. In Blue Split, we had some drivers getting a little bit squirrely through there. So with the added wet conditions, I think it'll be interesting to see how drivers end up attacking this corner. I'm sure a lot of them have been practicing in the dries, but now that the rain comes down, it might change things. But the weather has actually changed, so within 10 minutes, we'll be having not clear skies, but the skies will be somewhat dry.
Yep, and just going through the grid, the only person on dries is Eduardo Sanchez. Everyone else is on wets.
Is Sanchez playing the absolute longest con in the world? The mother of all undercuts? Probably, maybe.
Let's watch and find out.
Looking through the grid, Steve
Well,
Davis.
hopefully the cars around him don't decide to play bumper cars with him instead. We'll see.
We'll have to see. Steve Davis joining us from the land down under once more. We'll love to see it. I think him and Kurt Moss, men from countries we don't really see a lot here in North America. Obviously, Davis being Australian, you'd expect him to be an AP, but Kurt Moss from Jamaica. So that's always nice to see. It's always good to see, where all our drivers and our staff come from, and it's just a great community to have here. But the safety car going to be pulling away. So, Jeff and Ryan, I will leave it to you to call the very last race. Who's it going to be?
I think in celebration of your split blue victory, Ryan.
I'll give it a shot.
All right, Ryan, the floor is yours.
Oh boy. Alright, they're rounding the final corner. Looks like P2 needs to catch up, make up some space right here, unfortunately. Fortunately, that's how circles work, The outside's longer than the inside. Coming up to the line, holding 80. Restart initialized. Screen, green, green. Let's go, let's go. Zach Patterson gets a great start. Looks like one of the other Hondas, who is that? Geiger also gets a nice start, making a 3 wide, 4 wide almost in the T1. Porsche LePage getting a little bit squirrely on the curb. one of the Mercedes, I think it was Davis, goes a little bit wide. Looks like he was about to make up some space. Looks like everyone here is pretty clean, though. Looks like Gulzar making up a lot of spots, just has a small tap with Stevens, but making it now through Barbecue, as there's a spin in the back.
Got that one.
Yeah, there was a tiny bit of sadness going up the hill there, and then a little bit more sadness.
Oh, geez, there's a lot of sadness. Audi and Lamborghini and Porsche, and through here, it's a little side tap on the rear left quarter panel. Excellent dodging skills from all those drivers involved, and it will be.
Chris Pace, unfortunately, just finally getting his.
I think it's a safety car.
His Aston Martin moving, although if there's safety car is on the move.
No, we were doing so well.
I think
We
that's
didn't have a safety
That's a bit of a
car.
soft safety car, in my opinion. There's one car
Yeah.
behind the pack who's now obviously going to be able to catch up, so I'm sure he's loving it. But
Yeah, 7 seconds before commentator's curse.
all right,
We had 0 safety cars through the whole season. Not a single safety car. And it comes down to the final race of the year, or the season rather, and there she goes. There she goes again. Safety car, whoever is behind that helmet, must be very happy, saying, finally, I get to do my job.
hey, we get to watch the Jack safety car in the wet. Could be a little interesting.
Can someone tell the safety car to drift, please?
Yo, if I was driving the safety car, that's totally what I'd be doing.
Yeah, you'd also total the thing.
You just gotta believe sometimes.
Mullet
But
comes to you and he's like, Ryan, why did you crash the safety car? I believed in
safety car?
myself. And he's like, well, I believe you shouldn't be driving it. Please give me the keys.
Yeah.
Ryan with the
I did
comms
call it,
crew.
though. It'd be a few taps, but not a disaster, and I think that's pretty accurate of what happened.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I'll give you that. You're right. Looking at the grid, though, we have Gulzar, who had a really good start. Went from P18 up to P11. Nunez in the pits. I'm sure that is for damages. I believe he had gone into the back of somebody. As we had jumped back in the replay, we had just saw it. And here comes the pack. So it's Patterson, Snelltrain, Geiger, Moss, Davis, your top 5, and then Brooks, Sanchez, Levine, Smith, and Sear for 6 through 10, and then Gulzar, LePage, Stevens, Duarte, Jansen, Gold, Pace, and Nunez, your bottom 8 drivers. So the safety car getting everybody around the track. The timer still ticks down, even though we are under safety car conditions. We should take a moment just to talk about safety car procedure here in the OOR. During the safety car phase, you are not ghosted. Obviously, it is not a race start. It is a very real part of the race, and obviously the game does not have a safety car by default. So we have to make do with our own. But if you make contact with somebody, I don't know if it's contact overall or just very severe contact, but you will be penalized. Do they tell you, is it just any contact, or is it like actual major contact?
Any contact is severely penalized, I think, are the words that they choose.
All right. I mean, it's been a little while since I've been in Sprint, so thank you for reminding me of what it is. Nunez, though, he is currently flying, trying to catch up to the pack, probably being very, very careful to not wreck that Porsche. He has got quite a ways to go, but thankfully these drivers traveling slow enough, so he should be able to catch up and maybe perhaps get some heat in his tires, maybe?
Yeah, did we say that he was the only car starting on dry tires?
That was Sanchez.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Sanchez, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm guessing he's fixing damage. Another kind of wrinkle into the series thrown in, I think, just this week is the pit window. So, definitely have to...
Blame Casey.
Yeah, blame Casey, good idea.
Yeah, I didn't really follow that, so I'm not entirely sure why they. Oh, because of his master stroke.
Yeah.
finish there? Okay.
I don't know if it was actually him, but like that's my theory.
No, that's the wrong car. There it is. Safety car peeling away finally, just like a banana. So we'll be racing here again. Zach Patterson will have control of the field, and the pit window does open up. So 50 minutes to get your tires changed out. So now the question is, where do you go? And it looks like Patterson's going right now through Cheetah. That's probably a very good spot to get going through, especially with trying to get out of that corner at low speed. So Patterson's going to pull away from Snell Train, Geiger to Moss, Davis, Brooke, Sanchez, Levine, Smith, Sear, Golzar, the man who we will absolutely be keeping an eye on, LePage, Stevens, Duarte, Jansen, Gold, Pace, Nunez. We're racing once again here at Kyalami, and can we keep it clean for another 54 minutes?
And something to note, the rain has already stopped, so any water on the track, that's all we got.
And you can see that racing line starting to form there on the track. See it easily, looking at this angle here. You got the very shiny sides of the track and then a nice dark centered portion, so that's where everyone's going to be sticking. That's where a lot of the water is going to be removed from. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all plays out. We actually have the McLaren of Sanchez going wide there. It's sundown, or sunset rather, and it's Elliot Levine coming under attack from Quinn Smith. Quinn Smith trying to look down the inside, but not quite going through the S's up the hill. So we'll see perhaps if there's a move down to Mineshaft. And actually, it's Quinn Smith going down the inside later on the brakes. And that is going to be P7 or P8 picked up. But Levine trying to fight back. That Lexus up front getting a little bit squirrely, but that turbo lag, I think, killing Elliot Levine's chances of retaking his position. Oh, we've got a car off. Sanchez again.
His drive's not doing him any favors right now.
No, definitely not. But again, maybe he's playing the long game. He's playing the absolutely stupidly long uber mega big brain strat and just saying, you know what, I don't need wet tire. Okay, you know what, Sanchez, maybe, I'm not his crew chief. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just a commentator.
Yeah, he's playing the I'm making the game even longer for myself.
That's true. That is very, very true.
Yeah, I had a race like this very recently where, it was kind of a gamble as to which tires you were going to start on, and I started on dries. And unlike a few weeks ago here in OOR, the track was drying out, but you just kind of have to take your knocks, for a few laps when you're on dry tires in these kind of conditions. So looks like Golzar has his sights set on his next victim.
Elliot Levine, yeah. He lost that position to Smith and potentially losing another one to Golzar. Golzar already halfway up the grid and we're only 10 minutes in, and it looks like Golzar tried to go down the inside and it doesn't look like it's going to work. No, not quite. So for the time being, Levine holding on by a thread, and then you've got LePage and Sear, the two Porsches just behind that. So looks like things are starting to heat up a bit. Zach Patterson starting to open up a gap to Sam Snelltrain. It's about 2 seconds right now as they head down Mineshaft towards Crocodile. But nothing to count out yet. Anything can happen. You might get a wet patch. You might spin the car. But these drivers, it might be kind of rare, especially with the skill these guys have. But right now, the grid's sort of settling. We've got Patterson and Snelltrain kind of on their own, and then we've got a few groups starting to form. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on all of that. Kurt Moss here, sitting in third position. Good job from him. Starting to feel the heat from Geiger, or should I say the radiation.
Yeah, same thing, right?
Are they both versions of spicy air?
Spicy air. That's
Yes.
an interesting descriptor.
Spicy
But
air.
I think so.
I am a Gen Zer. We say stupid things, all right? Leave me alone.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
Actually, you are
Spicy
too,
air.
Ryan. You're also a Gen Zer.
Yeah.
God.
Zoomers.
But yeah, we'll see how things pan out. Hamza Golzar getting around Elliot Levine while we were busy looking at this battle here. So he's got 7 more people to get around. It's Smith, Davis, Brooke, Geiger, Moss, Snelltrain, and Patterson that stand between him and first place. And it's the Aston of Moss going a bit wide, and it looks like a little bit of drift action there. Unless that was just my camera angle being weird. But as I say that, Geiger getting a little bit out of shape through the corner. And Davis had a peek down the inside, or sorry, Brooke had a peek down the inside, but wasn't going to be able to go for anything just yet.
Yeah, looks like a good job there, as Brooke does have a run up on the inside. I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, decent job from Geiger. They're minimizing mistakes, but sometimes even when you don't, it's easy to make one mistake and then immediately make another. But it looks like there's not a whole lot he could have done there. But they're still fighting as they come down into Crocodile.
Yep, Crocodile.
Okay, look at me.
No
All
one
right,
names.
Tim Brooke. Here we go.
Oh boy, through Cheetah, will she have dinner for
Okay.
2? No, not quite. But Brooke,
Tim.
This could be multiple positions.
Yeah.
potentially.
And with Davis and Quinn Smith now firmly in the picture, this is definitely shaping up to be an interesting group.
Yeah, we've got the two German manufacturer, the two German cars stuck between a nice little couple slices of Japanese bread. So we'll have to see how things pan out here. Gulzar picking up the fastest lap though, so good for him, and he has to close up a 4-second gap to these guys to try and pick up some more positions. I don't want to call it just yet, of course. We don't want to say anything that we're going to regret. Ryan. But we'll have to wait and see. Actually see him in the background. But hopping back a little bit, we've got some trouble here.
Wasn't me this time.
It wasn't you this time. It was Stevens. Is there enough time? So let's see what happens. Goes through turn 1. Look at this 4x4 right now. So we got 2 Porsches. Oh, you got the Aston there.
I don't think he even touched him, did he?
No, I think Levine just lost the back end a bit. And, or was that Levine? Yeah, I think that was Levine. Or maybe it was,
Yeah, I think it was Levine.
Yeah, it was Levine,
Looks
yep.
like his score.
Yep, he just lost the back end there, and there was really not much Duarte or Stevens could have done, and it just sort of, unfortunately panned out that way. Thankfully, not too much damage to these cars, so that's a very, very good thing to see. They carry on, and so do we, into the 47 or so minute here, so 42 minutes to make that pit stop, so that window will close with 5 minutes to spare. Pace, though, just picking up a penalty, I'm assuming. Yep, just a 5-second penalty, though, causing a collision on lap 1, so thankfully he got it before he pits. As we all know, getting your penalties before you pit is the way to go, because then you don't have to worry about it later.
I think that kind of depends, though, right? Because you might lose track position from those 5 seconds, which is going to cost you more than 5 seconds later.
But then you don't have it added on to your time later.
But, like...
It's always added on, it's just... During the
Yeah.
race, you can put you behind somebody that maybe is a little more difficult to get around, and then, of course, you're losing even more time. But yeah, looks like Brooke is still trying to figure out a way to get around Geiger here. And of course, we see Gulzar making his way up to this group. I know what you thought I was going to say, but I didn't say it. So yeah, let's follow these guys around. It looks like Tim Brooke usually has a better run up into the top of the hill there towards Mineshaft. So we'll see if he can maybe time his run and get a move to stick this time.
And these wet conditions, cars behaving a lot differently, as Tim Brooke actually gets a very good exit there out of the S's, heading up towards the top of the hill. It's gonna be Geiger with an excellent defense, sticking to the apex, almost getting some of that McLaren booty, or McLaren nose in the booty. But here we go, down Mineshaft. It's not quite door to door, as Geiger does pull away, but Tim Brooke does have that inside line. Oof. I think he had to lift there, else he was going to go into Geiger, and that's actually a bit later on the brakes as Geiger goes very wide. So Tim Brooke, he's going to get around Geiger here again and through Cheetah. They all keep it together. I think Smith might have gotten to the back of Davis a little bit.
It was close.
It was very, very close, but what an absolute charge there from Brooke to just get around Geiger, and now he takes P4 for himself. Geiger having to settle for P5, so now it looks to be whether or not Davis and Quinn Smith can give us some action.
Yeah, while this battle's going on, Gulzar is still catching up faster and faster every lap.
Yeah, he's shrunk that gap down, it was what, 3.5, and now it's 2. Now I think the Boatley does a little better in the water. I don't know. I'm not a sea captain.
Well, just taking a quick look at fastest lap so far. We got Snell Train up in the high 148s, and Zach Patterson with the 148.5, which I'm gonna guess is the fastest lap, since Golzar is still in the 150s, I think, for his fastest lap. Check back here. No, 149.6. So he is making his way through the field, and still looks like he's got a little bit of pace to find.
Yeah, but he's got some road to work with, and obviously he's been catching these guys. So we could see Golzar getting around and improving his lap time. Golzar's best, like you said, a 49.6, and then Patterson with the 48.5. So Patterson on top. We'll have to wait and see, though. Looking around the grid here, we got Abe Duarte having to defend from Levine as they go into, or through the top of the hill here down into Mineshaft. So the weather, gentlemen, it's changed. The sun's coming out. The track is going to be drying here. So I think in due time we will be seeing a lot of these drivers diving into the pits to get those slicks on. Yeah, you can see the sun. Look at that shadow. Look at that shine. Look at that track. Looking beautiful.
Already damp.
Yeah, these guys have done an excellent job clearing it off. Just, you know, it's I feel like just clearing off the track of water is the one thing, you know, you don't really think about actively. You know, you keep an eye on it, you keep a tab on it, but you're not, you know, actively checking the water levels and the percentages and, oh, how slick is it going to be? You're just like, oh, this part of the track is dry. Okay, I guess I'll go on to slicks now. But still, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what all happens here. Kurt Moss leading from Brooke Geiger Davis and Quinn Smith. Quinn Smith still hunting down the Mercedes, but right behind him, it's none other than Mr. Hamza Golzar in the big old boat. He has closed that gap. It is half a second. This man, he does not care. He knows what he's here to do. He's started P18, I'm assuming deliberately, and now could potentially be gaining 2 more positions.
It's been an incredible charge up the field so far. A little bit less than 20 minutes, and he's made up from 18, made up 10 spots. Let's hope he keeps his pace up when the track goes to dry tires.
I think when it gets to dries, I think that's when it's game over for everybody else. He's going to hit the NOS and just send it. He knows what he's got.
I just can't wait to see the track tick over to maybe greasy. Usually that's pretty good indication that it's time to switch to dries, and everybody just pits all at the same time. It should be interesting. But Kurt Moss struggling for pace here a little bit. His best lap so far looks like it's in the 150s, and the Tim Brook train has caught up to Kurt Moss as Snell Train has stretched his lead over Moss to just over 7 seconds, and Patterson in turn has moved his on up to just a little bit over 4 seconds. So this will be the I'm christening the Kurt Moss train now. We'll see what happens here.
Kurt Moss train. Well, I'm sure he's going to be looking for a conductor, and I know someone who is, so I'll give her a call and see if she wants to.
You know someone that's a train conductor.
Sure, why not? a train conductor with quotation marks.
Choo-choo.
Yes. Hamza Golzar, though, he is really giving Quinn Smith a lot of problems. He was very close there going into sunset. Yes, sunset. I forgot. I almost said sundown again. Leave me alone. But no, he's been staring at the back end of that Lexus for quite a while. I'm sure he's raring to get around to get a new change of scenery with a Mercedes of Steve Davis.
Yeah, Kurt Moss a little deep. Looks like Brooke has a run on him now. And we'll see if he can. Oh, Kurt Moss
a little bit
trying to go
wide
a little too fast. And you just understeer right off onto the grass there.
Does it again?
Taking a oh boy.
Oh boy.
It's getting
Bumpy
interesting.
out there.
So it looks like he's losing 2 spots there, and now has to contend with Davis and Quinn Smith.
And Golzar, the
Gonna
man
say,
on a
not
mission.
to mention the caboose of our train here. Definitely not who I would want trailing me.
No, definitely not. These drivers, where is... There he is. I was trying to find Davis for the longest time. Ultimate Local saying Snell Train the conductor. All aboard the Snell Train, boys.
Yep.
You ride for free. But looking here through turn 4, or turn 2. Oh, no. Yeah, 4. I'm close enough. It's going to be Davis on the outside, and it's Geiger. Or it's Quinn Smith, excuse me, making some contact. Davis is probably not going to be too pleased about that. You saw right into the rear corner panel. And now Golzar thought about it going around the outside at sunset. Wow, 3 times.
That's strike 3, man. You're out.
All right, I'll just end the stream right here. Sorry, boys. Golzar picking up a position, though. Probably not the way he wanted to pick it up, but, I mean, a position's a position, unfortunately, and Davis... thankfully only lost a position, although he does have to deal with LePage now. And possibly Sear. If Sear can get it all together, hopefully do a little searing of the competition in the coming laps. But yeah, Steve Davis getting the worst of it and losing some positions. And it looks like he could potentially lose more as LePage gets a pretty good exit there out of the top of the hill, but I don't know if the Porsche has quite the legs to catch up to this Mercedes.
Now, do you think the new Porsche Cup car would have had the legs to catch up to that Mercedes? What a great time to be an ACC fan this week with all these wonderful new cars coming out.
I know. I saw the new Ferrari. That looks sexy. I was like, yep, I want it. I haven't driven it yet because I haven't gotten the DLC. Probably will. And then I'll still continue driving what I usually drive.
All the cars are amazing.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to drive any of them yet, but I just get, feel like that Ferrari, man. So you can just fulfill all your rich dentist wild man fantasies,
Does your dentist race cars?
Some dentists in real life do. Yes,
do yours though?
Do mine? No, mine are not that cool, and they don't live in Europe. That would be quite a trip. But
that's fair.
I think mine has an old NSX.
Really?
Oh boy.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine drives. He does. Yeah, he drives. What's that Porsche SUV thing? He drives that.
Macan and the Cayenne.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Is it the
I
big
don't
one
know.
or the small one?
The big one.
Yeah, Cayenne.
I don't like that. But I don't have the heart to tell him anything because I drive a Corolla. So I'm like,
Hey,
you know what?
you,
I'll
I
stay
don't
in
like
my
your
lane.
Yeah, I mean, somebody poking around your mouth with sharp objects. Be careful what I said too.
I don't like your car. Let's trade.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Sorry, I removed the wrong tooth. My bad.
He actually did stab me in the gums once.
Yikes.
Well, because I have Invisalign, so they put the buttons on your teeth and you're trying to get them off, and they use that like rubber cement stuff or whatever. So he was trying to get like, we had like the little like saw thing to like get the button off, but there was still some of the cement left, so he was using the little hook to try and chip it off, and it just slipped straight into my gum. I'm like, thanks, that's awesome. And as we say that, Davis going off, he's not doing too well. We had Stevens and Nunez in the pits, and now Golzar, so that's very interesting.
Yeah, I think Golzar got a little fed up following Quinn Smith and Kurt Moss here, so we'll see if he can come out on the other side of them, as the track does look like it has moved to greasy, so it looks like Golzar has timed that just about as perfectly as you could.
Yeah, everybody.
The cars filtering into the pits.
Golzar, Duarte, Jansen, Pace with the 5 seconds, so that'll get added on. But yeah, that greasy track, 30 minutes on the pit window, 35 on the race clock. The sun's shining, it's 20 degrees ambient, 27 on the racing surface. So this should honestly start drying up most of the track here, as we see Golzar just moseying his way through. Don't mind him, he's not doing much of anything, he's just a casual racing gamer. But as it stands, Patterson though still in the lead, has not gone into the pits. Tim Brook actually picking up fastest lap, a 1:47.33, so that is about 13 hundredths faster than the man on screen right now. So will Patterson dive into the pits along with Snelltrain, Brook, Geiger, Moss, Smith, LePage, Sear, Davis, Levine, Sanchez. We'll have to wait and see. Patterson, though, he's passing it up. So we look to Sam Snelltrain. He doesn't. There is a back marker there. I believe that was the Porsche of Nunez, who obviously pit. And Tim Brook also passing up. So it seems like these guys are going to go a bit longer on their tires. But the question is...
Kurt Moss staying on as well.
Yeah, he is. Geiger in the pits. Smith in the pits. So it's going to be interesting. Welcoming to the chat, Mr. Tom Riley. G'day, gents. Ultimate Local saying a Corolla is virtually indestructible. Big facts. I agree. But, yeah, with these wet tires and the greasy track conditions, you sort of have to wonder about the temperatures. You know, are they getting too high and, you know, you're losing grip, or are you managing them nicely?
I guess it's definitely suboptimal for the wet tires, but as you can see, there's still a lot of water on the track, so it should still be viable.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would imagine they're getting a little bit toasty.
Toast.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of really viable wet parts of the track that you'd actually want to run on, you know, in order to try to keep those tires cool as much as you can. You really don't want to stray too far from the line on this track.
Yeah, you saw...
In particular.
Yeah, you saw Tim Brook there having a chance before the S's, just moving his car over just to get some temperature out of those tires running through the water. So I think Brook might be diving into the pits here. We look ahead to Zach Patterson, though. He's still out there on his wet tires, going through greasy track conditions. He's keeping the NSX in check, and there he goes into the pits. So front runners, the first man in is Zach Patterson, Sam Snelltrain following suit, and Tim Brook, if I had to bet on it, gets through Cheetah, and he's going in, yeah, on the right side. So front runner starting to get those tires off, and then we look for Kurt Moss and LePage and Sear, Davis, Kurt in the pits. So yeah, it looks like a lot of these drivers going to be getting these wet tires off. Oh, never mind, the Porsche's staying out. Interesting. Davis goes into the pits.
It's very peculiar, because usually the Porsches with their rear engine struggle with the rear's getting hot. So I'd imagine that's becoming an issue, but I guess they're showing me otherwise.
Yeah, I think Eduardo Sanchez, he did start on the dry tires, did he not?
He did, yes.
And look at that. He is sitting P8, possibly going to be picking up more positions here as pit stops come through. And he has made probably hopefully a very good call here in the race. Ooh, Hamza Golzar, ooh, getting a little out of shape there. A little Tokyo drift coming in for your points leader. But yeah, look at Eduardo Sanchez. He's just going to start leapfrogging people. And he is up to 6th, possibly 5th place. Yep, Golzar also picking up some positions. Golzar up to, I think might be staying in 7th actually. So Golzar not really getting what he wanted. He still has to get through Sanchez, Brooks, Snelltrain, and Patterson. And I believe the Porsches of LePage and Sear will also be coming into the pits. They're actually heading down mine shaft right now. So we should see these two coming in. Like you said earlier, Ryan, as the rear engine, you know, they struggle a bit in these conditions. So I think we will be seeing them moseying on over to their pit boxes here in just a few moments' time.
Yeah, I think unfortunately for Sanchez, the track dried out maybe a little too quickly. Or maybe no, he would want it to. No, he would want it to dry out quickly. So yeah, maybe it didn't dry out fast enough. So yeah, he has made up some spots, but I guess we'll probably see where he comes out after he actually takes his pit stop. But at least he will, if he is out there long enough, should have some fresher tires on there towards the end.
Yep,
Yep, and the track has just switched to green as well.
Well, that's very good to see. Zach Patterson, though, retaking the lead here from the two Porsches, and we look to Sam Snelltrain grabbing his positions. And then you've got Sanchez, Brook, and Golzar all pulling through, so they'll be gaining position. They'll be gaining 2 positions each for passing the Porsche duos of LePage and Sear. So Hamza Gulzar now up to 5th position from 18th on the grid. And we see him move down the inside. Wow, what a lunge by Brook to get around Sanchez. That was a very brave move.
It looks like Sanchez, who started on those tires, you know, they're probably worn out from all that water, grained and not happy with it. So far, he's got some track position, so let's see what he can do.
Yeah, the big scary boat behind him. And it looks like he had to lift, so that's actually going to give Gulzar a bit of a chance to catch up here around the outside. This is going to be an incredible move if he can get it to stick onto the runoff there. And into the S's, Hamza Gulzar with an amazing move around the outside. He's up to 4th position, and he's just got to get past a few more people. He's got to get past this man here, Tim Brook, car 404, Satellite Racing, and then Sam Snelltrain, Zach Patterson, quite a ways up. But, I don't know. Does Gulzar make the absolute insanity run and get this win? Did you say that, though? It's Geiger down the inside of Sanchez. That was child's play, but it's going to be the switchback. Sanchez back on to the gas, but not quite enough. So does he go into the pits now? Yes, he does. Ryan, what a great call there. With the tires. I didn't think he was gonna pit. That was really good insight there.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because it's the halfway mark too, and people started on wets, you know, moved to dries, so it's like perfect for them. Like half the race on one set, half the race on another set. So it's just unfortunate that those dry tires didn't work out for Sanchez.
Yeah, absolutely. Who is still? So yeah, just Sanchez in the pits. Obviously the safety car just vibing. Zach Patterson opening up a gap to Snelltrain, about 5 seconds. And then from Snelltrain to Brook is about 11. And then Brook to Gulzar. Well, that's sort of the story we're following here. Half a second. Can Gulzar get around Brook?
I think we can safely assume he will. It's just how long will it take?
Well, if
How long can he hold on?
yeah, it depends on what side of the coin you're on. If you're on Brook's side, you're saying, all right, how long can you hold this position? If you're on Gulzar, how long is it going to take you to get around him? But Gulzar really just showing his prowess here, in not just here at Kyalami, but even just in the OOR and in North America Red Sprint Series, has been an absolute beast on circuit. Every week, race in, race out. Has wasted no time getting what he wants, and well, Brook, I think your laps are numbered, my friend. Gulzar closing that gap up just a little bit more.
Yeah, Tim Brook probably looking at his mirror like that's a big car. Yeah, it's getting bigger every straight in the mirror.
Yeah, lap time's coming down. Gulzar now with the fastest lap at a 1:43.057. Track is fast already, so yeah, we will have, I would imagine, a good chunk of this race on a nice, dry, optimum track.
Have to see. Gulzar a little bit closer. He's catching up as they go into sunset again. Another lap down. Gulzar trying his best to get around this Mercedes, but it's Brook making the Mercedes almost as wide as the Bentley here, and Gulzar has been struggling to get around him. So I don't know. I think unless Gulzar can get around Brook in the next few minutes, I don't know if we'll see a worst to first. I mean, worst to third is still a very good result, but I think Gulzar is going to be shooting a bit higher.
We saw Gulzar also hit a few laps early, if I remember correctly, so his tires were just a little bit longer out in the water, so maybe he's struggling with those a little bit too.
Possibly. We don't know. He's later on the brakes, though, catching up to Tim Brook. So Gulzar has been feeling out his opponent these last handful of laps, but so is Brooke. I think they know where each other are faster, so I think it's about maximizing the time you can gain in your strong sectors and then minimizing your weak sectors, or not sectors, but sections I should be saying, as much as possible. But that gap has been stuck at about half a second. Bells are probably getting a little frustrated with himself, saying I should have been around this guy ages ago, but sort of just struggling to find the pace. Tim Brooke, though, he's being kept honest, but he is doing an amazing job. Looking around the grid, though, everyone's kind of spaced out doing their own thing. This is currently the closest battle we've got. Patterson really just pulling away. Snelltrain's got to get through a back marker as they head up towards the top of the hill. I mean, this is getting pretty interesting here in for third position.
Yeah, the Porsche buddy duo of LePage and Sear have split up a little bit. You know, good things don't last forever. So LePage moving up the road a little ways, and Sear looking at Davis, maybe making up some ground behind him. I think Davis, towards the end of that first stint, lost a little bit of pace, so I'm sure he'll be looking to claw back any positions that he can manage to get.
We'll see if he can hold off the charging Mercedes, and if not, I'm sure Sear will probably make an album about LePage and how he wasn't there for him when he needed him the most.
I know, yeah.
The sim racing Taylor Swift. Gulzar, though, that gap's opened up a bit. It's gained about half a tenth here on lap number 19. Kurt Moss picking up fastest lap. Hold on. We've got Tim Brooke a little bit late on the brakes, probably looking in his mirrors at the wrong time, and now Gulzar getting very close, looks on the inside, he's going to back out. There isn't enough of an opening for that Boatley to fit through. She certainly needs a lot of room compared to all these other cars. Tim Brooke, though, getting out of that one. Very lucky, but has lost 2 tenths, and now he's sort of just back to where he was a few laps prior.
I guess something to know here, Kyalami is the track with the highest elevation in the game, so
Really?
his turbocharged engines, I think struggle quite a bit in the straights, especially compared to these naturally aspirated engines.
Wow, I honestly had no idea about any of that. I'm like, I make the car go fast. I make the car go
Press
fast.
gas, we press brake.
The Aston hurts because turbo lag. The Audi kills you. The McLaren will kill you if you look at a curb the wrong way sometimes. The Porsche will kill you if it's too wet.
I mean, it's elementary, my dear Amon.
Thank you for getting my last name right. Actually, I've said it like 1,000,001 times. Actually, I can even say it 1,000,001 times. People are like, Amoni. Nope. No. So, thank you, Jeff, for getting it right. I appreciate it.
Amon.
Amon.
Amion.
I'm going to hit both of you. Oh, God.
He's gonna send us a punching emote. Be afraid.
Yeah, do your worst.
No, you know what I'm going to do? Do you guys remember that scene in Regular Show where Mordecai's like, yo, Rigby, something came for you in the mail, and Rigby's like, oh, what is it? And then Mordecai just punches him through the little cardboard box. That's what I'm going to do. I feel like Jeff has no idea what I'm talking about.
I've heard of that show, and I believe I've heard of that character, but that is not a show I've ever watched. No.
You should. It's good. It's on Hulu. I think Ryan. I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Oh my God!
I can picture it though.
You're impossible. Oh
Yes.
goodness me. Anyways,
If it's not
Simmers
SpongeBob,
don't
I haven't
even
seen
have
it.
each other's backs here. I mean, come on, guys.
It's not SpongeBob, I haven't seen
what?
it.
That okay?
No, if it's not SpongeBob,
Oh,
I
if it's
haven't
not
seen it.
SpongeBob. Okay, I thought you said you haven't seen SpongeBob. I'm like, how have you not seen that? That's like the one
Actually-
show everybody sees.
I have like 2 friends that haven't seen SpongeBob. Yeah, like blows my mind every time.
Why are they your friends?
Who else do I have?
Us?
True.
Actually, that might be worse. You know what? Stick with your two friends. Never mind.
Hey
Uh,
Jeff, have you seen the SpongeBob? Oh well.
the silence
Yes.
speaks volume. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yes, yes.
He was lagging out.
No. No,
Oh.
I definitely have. Oh boy, there goes Tim Brook.
Oh boy. Whoa.
Saves it.
Casey.
Oh no.
Casey, you good
I
there,
didn't even
champ?
see that.
What happened? Oh, he just got. Oh, he got kind of loose and then hits the wall and then.
Okay.
That's a pretty good park. That's a pretty good park.
Yeah. He's
Wow.
blending in with the yellow lines there. I didn't see him at first.
No,
I
I.
thought we were gonna see him slam into it and maybe wish there was those giant like water
Yeah.
barrels. You know,
Oh
on the
yeah, yeah,
highway.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't they fill those with sand?
I
I think some of them they fill with sand. Like I know I think NASCAR they do it or IndyCar.
yeah, I'm not sure.
That's
I
like
feel
it
like
hurts.
I feel like the sand, especially if some water were to leak into those containers anyway, could just get like rock solid and probably not do you any favors if you smashed into it.
You can make a sand castle that looks just like your car. Oh,
That'd be
goodness.
just. And I'm picturing like a barrel, like a car hitting a barrel, and then the car vanishes and just sand where it was.
A perfectly formed sandcastle.
Yeah, perfectly
Award
formed.
winning, competition winning, yeah.
Oh my god. Wow, this is a really good sand castle. It was my car. Water normally. Is it Tom Riley? I think that's what he says. Tom Riley says water normally? I'm not too certain. But I think it's usually water, but sometimes it is sand. Depending on I guess what you're doing. I've seen it in one of those like racing car crash compilations that like pops up and you recommend it like once every like 3 months and you just click on it because you know it's not coming back. And I think in some of the crashes, especially in IndyCar, it's sand.
And then you look down in the comments and everyone's like, "Oh man, what brought you here?"
There's always the one person that's like, the only things I look at on YouTube are like yarn tutorials. Why am I here? It's like, yes, welcome. We're
Yarn
glad to have you.
tutorials.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because you get those videos that randomly pop up for you, and they are also randomly popping up for a bunch of other people. So
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
algorithm chose it.
oh, yeah, the algorithm. And
I
then
don't-
there'll be some that'll just show up every couple years, and you can like scroll through the comments a little ways, and you can see, a few years ago, this was random for everybody, and here it is again.
Yeah, or you see a video and there's a comment from like 3 years ago that says, all right, well, this will probably be in the algorithm in like 3 years, and you're like, how did
Yep,
you call
yeah,
that?
that too.
What are you doing? Sir, can you please tell me the lottery numbers? I'd appreciate it. I think my YouTube recommendations were just like, hey, you played Call of Duty Zombies, right? And I'm like, yeah. And like, do you want to watch a video about the world record on this one map? And I'm like, yes. What?
I mean, yeah.
How'd
Why
you know?
not? And now they're like all there. It's like, hey, here's the one guy who does them really well. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes. But
Are you
please
kidding
stop.
me? Heck yeah, I want it.
Bro, I need to relive the glory days.
Hey, don't look now. I'm not sure if Patterson drove it off the lot like that, or maybe he's just driving around the track. The one guy that has the note stuck on his back and he doesn't know it, but his left blinker has been on for a few laps. So
Has it really? Hold on.
yeah,
Hold
he
on.
might have driven it off the lot like that, but
Here,
Take
let
a
me see if
peek.
he's streaming. I'll tell him.
No, don't.
no,
It's
All
on.
of his
Oh,
right
my God.
blinkers
There it
on.
is.
It is on. There it is.
yeah, yep.
Let's check the right one just to be safe.
I think if I tell him his right blinkers on, he'll turn it on. He'll have both
Yes! Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. So the left blinker is on, as we can tell. I gotta say, the
Really?
lights, they do a really good job with the lighting. The light, like, look at that. That
really
looks
does
so
look like-
good. That looks so good.
When you're zoomed in this far, it does look like a Civic. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I saw a Civic today that had a license plate board that said, "I want to go fast," and I'm like, "Sir, you drive a Civic." And then on the right, the back right window, it said, "Yeah, I know, license and registration." I'm like, "You drive a Civic." What do you mean? Oh my god, he turned it on. He's got both blinkers on. Take a look from the back. There it is. Look at that. That's.
Aha! Got him!
I think we all have to give Ryan a round of applause. Great job. Good work, Ryan.
Good
I
teamwork.
think Portis is watching because he said in Zabzy's chat as well, Patterson's chat, your left blinker's on.
I mean, the blinkers are in the HUD unless he's got that turned off.
No, he's in
off.
VR.
Oh my God, that is vile. No, he turned him off. Man,
No.
who told him? Which one of you told him?
It was
No.
Portis, I swear.
Portis.
It was good guy Portis.
Portis,
Portis
how
is always
could
there
you?
for
Ah,
you.
I'm so angry, bro.
His rain light's on. Oh look, yes, now he is.
Wait,
he's giving
is
us
it?
something else? Yeah, the rain light's on there.
I gotta find it. Rain light, rain light, rain light. You
Oh
lied.
no, he cycled it off. No, it was totally on. His rain
Patterson's-
light was on.
Stop it. Give us lights. Give us a flash. Tell him to flash the headlights.
Yeah, he's just playing with us now.
Tell him to flash the headlights. I want to see those
Yeah,
pearly
headlight
lights.
flash.
We tell Ryan the messenger. Hey, can you go into chat and just like annoy the drivers real quick?
I
Please.
don't know who else is streaming, but
I think Casey isn't streaming.
Ryan's our virtual carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon. What's the national bird of Canada?
bird?
Yes, bird.
We don't
have
have one.
What about your province? Do you do
Yeah,
that?
everybody has a national or state bird.
What's my state bird? I don't even know. I know it's the chickadee. Alright, Patterson's not giving us what we want. So rude. Or maybe he's waiting to for a straight to give us a headlight flash. I haven't seen anything.
All right, the national bird of Canada is the gray jay, also known as the whiskey jack. That's a cool name.
I
I've
like
never
that.
heard
Canada.
that in my life.
Or the Canada jay.
Well, there you go. Alright, Patterson.
go.
You're on a
Wait,
straight.
what's the national bird of the United States though?
The bald eagle. The best bird in the world. Alright, I don't think Patterson's gonna give us a flash. I'm sad now.
Since 1782, baby.
Oh, really? 1782? Oh,
Yes, yep.
interesting.
That was when it was placed on the outspread wings of the Great Seal of the United States.
I didn't even know we knew what seals were back then. I thought seals were in the ocean.
only for clubbing.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not where you were going with that. I'm sorry.
See, they were gonna call it when they were originally making Club Penguin. They were gonna call it Club Seal. I realized the problem. They're like, yes, shouldn't do that.
Didn't that game finally shut down recently in the last couple
I
years?
think it did. Although we should
A while
focus
ago.
on the action here. Geiger goes a bit wide into, I believe that's turn 4, something like that.
I'm just trying to connect with Zoomer culture here.
Yeah, I feel you. I think it did. But yeah, Moss though, he's getting a little bit crazy now. He's catching up. With Geiger going wide, he does lose some ground, and now it's Moss on the inside who actually does pull out of that engagement. So he's right behind the Honda once again, but still very much putting the pressure on Geiger for this P5. Kurt Moss looking down the inside. He is going to be a little bit later on the brakes, but out of this corner here, I don't think the Aston Martin is going to have it. No, that turbo lag. Oh, we see it all the time out of corner after corner. And it doesn't happen. Andrew Searoff. What in the world happened there? He's making a gravel castle. There's no flint out there. This isn't Minecraft. I don't know what happened. That's odd. Oh, he's got some damage on the right side there, so perhaps a little bit of wall contact? Who knows?
Go a little bit farther back in the replay.
Yeah, you'll be our replay man. I don't want to open replay. It takes so much effort. So difficult.
Kids these days.
Oh,
All right, Ryan, give us the play-by-play.
the curb on the exit of Sunset just grabbed him, and it threw him in the wall.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Sam Snelltrain just snap oversteered into the wall.
Let's get it up on
What
replay here.
the-
Through Sunset. So it looks like the sun's setting for a few of these drivers.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Just too much grass there.
Yep, there it is. I mean, he does drive away, thankfully. But, well,
He told me to curse away. I didn't, but it looks like I didn't need to, so.
so what's the name of his team again?
It's Jeff's commentator curse.
Oh, peculiar. Anyways,
Look at that.
good job, Jeff.
Wow.
You did it
What
again.
do you know?
What do you know? Hams and Goals are making it P2, and he's got quite the gap to Patterson. I believe it's about 15 or so seconds. Yeah, 14.6. So if Patterson, or not Patterson, if Gulzar can close that up in 9.5 minutes, I will eat my shirt. And I really like this shirt, so Gulzar, please don't do it.
All right, let me tell that to Zach.
No, don't tell Zach to throw. Don't tell him to throw the win. He's got 9.5 minutes. You can't do this to me.
But you'll have to eat your shirt.
I don't want to eat my shirt. I like this shirt. Actually, I never specified what shirt I would eat. So you know what? Eat it. I'm gonna eat this shirt. What shirt would I eat? You know, I'm not even gonna think about this. Stop. Oh my God, Andrew Sear in the pits though. After his little escapade to the outer regions of Kyalami. Looking around the grid here, Tim Brook in the Mercedes, getting around Snell Train, who's McLaren looking a little unhappy.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess he lost some top end speed as a result of that crash. Not sure if he's got a bad case of the old floppy bonnet, but he very well might.
Yeah, let's go take a look at
Very
the front of Snell Train's car.
Sure, give me a hot second. Let me just
Oh
pop
gosh.
over. Can
Oh wow, I thought that was...
I? Thank you. Alright, let's take a peek. Yeah.
Oh, the old floppy bonnet.
The big crunch.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
You do. Well, at least the engineers don't have to use too much energy, or the mechanics don't have to use too much energy to get it open, because it already is. So yeah, probably a loss at top end. I think you can honestly kind of hear it in the car. It's, I don't know, just, I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing up there. It shouldn't really matter that much, right? No, I'm totally kidding. Maybe it'll just make it a little easier to toss the golf clubs in after the race.
Oh, that's right, because there's the engine's in the back. Huh?
Yeah, so it's already part way open. There you go.
Yep. Goals are picking up fastest lap, 42.3. So he's still got quite a long ways to go. I think as long as Patterson just keeps it all neatly tucked in and stitched up and taped shut, well, I think he should be fine. I think right now Patterson's just gonna take it easy. He knows the gap. He knows his pace. He's not really too worried.
I guess that's also one of my calls from the start, but there's still 7 minutes left.
Hey, listen, I didn't. You were like, oh, there's gonna be some bumps. I was just like, yeah, he's not gonna make any oopsies. Your call gave us a safety car, all right? You ruined the very good streak we had of no safety cars in North America. We went the whole season, no safety cars.
In my opinion, that was only like one car, like the wrong way. That should not have been a safety car.
Yeah, I think somebody had some money on it somewhere. I mean,
It's a chat quickly, I'll pay you safety car.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Oh
my goodness.
Kurt Moss almost going into the back there at Geiger. But he actually gets the run out of the turn there, down the inside, and Kurt Moss finally taking that P5. And look at him just pulling away. Wow. Kurt Moss has spent several laps behind the Honda of Geiger, and finally his efforts are rewarded. So he's going to be looking to pull away here in the closing minutes of this final race for Season 8. We'll have to see if Moss can make it top 5 finish, or if Geiger can swoop it out in the last dying moments.
I think they both have a good chance of overtaking Snell Train, who's currently doing his best impression of a stricken gazelle along the plains of Africa here, with two hungry lions bearing down upon him.
Well, yeah. Fortunately, we saw him just getting onto the grass at sunset. I feel like, you know, I've noticed that it almost feels a little too easy to go onto the grass there, because you get a little overzealous with the turn, and you know your two right tires just clip on there, and well, you're off. So I mean, that's just me. I don't know about you guys, but I found myself when I was learning this track, you know, I would get just a little too ambitious here at sunset, and I would ruin my lap, and I would question as to why I had just ruined my own lap again.
Oh my God.
Kurt Moss. Hey, man. Well, he's taking advantage, like you said, that stricken gazelle. And Kurt Moss almost going in for a kill.
Yep.
Quite literally, as he is sitting right behind there, up and on board. You can see just how close he is. So Snell Train really suffering from that that floppy hood, as we've called it, or at least as I called it. And he makes it around Snell Train, so that's Kurt Moss into P4, and well, I think Geiger might be having his own piece of the pie as we come down through Mine Shaft. There it is, the inside corner. You see Snell Train having to fall back. So Geiger and Moss both coming up with a top 5 here, lest something happens. Pray it doesn't. But yeah, definitely not the way Snell Train wanted to end the final race of the season.
Yeah, it was looking good for him at the start. It's just, you know, one mistake and could throw the whole thing away. Unfortunately, that's just racing, you know?
Absolutely. As we get to the close just within the 4-minute mark here of Kyalami. Patterson still sitting up front, about a 16.5, about 17 now. Second gap to Gulzar, so unless Zach Patterson makes a very, very massive, terrible error, we will be seeing Patterson pick up the final win of the season, and Gulzar not being able to get the worst of first. But, well, you know, stranger things have happened. But I believe we'll have 2 more laps after this, and then, or actually, no, I think we're going to have 1 more lap after this, and then it'll be the final lap of Season 8. So we check around the pack a little bit. Duarte, Pace, and Nunez making their own little, or not Nunez, excuse me. That was a back marker there. Nunez, Sanchez making their own little pairing, and then Duarte, Pace with their own fun little group. The buddy system, very important in motorsport, as you all know. You have to stay close to your competitors only. Never let them go.
Wait, was that saying, like, stay close with your friends, closer with your enemies or something?
Keep your friends close, but your enemies
Closer.
closer.
Yeah, that one. I forgot. It's been a while.
That's why I stitch my enemies to me. It's like, nope, you don't get to worry. I'm just doing what the saying
Staple.
says, man. All right, come on, don't get mad at me. Oh,
Yeah, I
goodness.
heard this phrase once, so I'll come here real quick.
Hey, come here. I got. No, this isn't Gorilla Glue.
I got a surprise.
They're eye drops, but I have to put them on your arm. Oh goodness, but I mean, this race things have kind of settled. So, gentlemen, thoughts on Season 8? Everything you've done this season, everything you've achieved, everything you've maybe lost. What are your thoughts overall on everything?
Well, some ups and downs for me. Start of the season with a pole position and a good finish in the first race. Managed to win a race this season. I know, Ryan, for some of us it's not a weekly occurrence. But yeah, a good way to end the season at this track. I feel like this track used to be kind of my boogeyman, and I think I've kind of tamed it a little bit, picking up a little bit more pace. But in this split, I mean, Gulzar, what else can you say? It's like the Thanos of OOR in the NA region. He's inevitable. But a great run from him this season. But at the same time, good to see Zach Patterson. Looks like he's going to go coast to coast here in the final race of the season.
Absolutely, Ryan. Thoughts?
I'm looking at my stats. I only had 2 pole positions actually, so that's that.
But how many wins did you have, Ryan? Let's talk about that stat. The
It says
important
4.
stat. It says 4. Well, I mean, you've had an amazing season.
Yeah, I've only had 1 race outside of the podium, I think, so I'm happy with that. I think this has been a very successful season for me. I wasn't expecting to like the Ferrari as much as I did. 'Cause I kind of picked it like, oh, this is new, or it's new to me at least.
Oh, you are?
You're not on stream. Be quiet. Listen.
Are you sure?
Are you sure you're muted? Yeah, no, you're okay. Okay. Now it sounds like we're talking to
Yeah.
anybody. Okay. Well, anyways, I
That
don't
was
know.
very
what
cool, Nick.
Yeah. Wow. Neat. What an announcement.
How'd you solve that? Your mathematics are impeccable.
All right, I'm back. Anyways, gentlemen, sorry about that. We're here. We're gonna finish out this lap with Zach Patterson, the man who started up front and ran away with it. We had Gulzar trying to hunt him down, but couldn't quite make it happen. Zach Patterson, for the last time, will win here at Kyalami by quite a margin. What an amazing race out of him. Opened up the gap and never looked back. Hamza Gulzar just coming through the final turn now. What a race he's had. Started deliberately 18th and finishes second. It would have been amazing to see him win this race, but unfortunately not in the cards, but still an amazing result. Tim Brook making it up to P3, car 404. You could say a win not found, but a podium certainly is. Kurt Moss getting a top 5 finish, and Jonathan Geiger as well, and then poor Snell Train, P6. He has had definitely not the best race, but still a very good result, especially in that stricken McLaren. And then you've got LePage coming across, Steve Davis, it'll be 7-8 respectively. Chris Stevens making it a P9, and Marco Jansen just got one more corner to navigate, and he will find himself a top 10 finish. And we got Jeff over here losing his marbles. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I knew he was gonna do it. Sam just smashed into the wall at the end of the turn 1.
Oh yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do? The car's already broken. I mean,
Yeah, it
might
looks
as
the
well.
same.
Yeah, you can write it off. It's a tax write-off. Elliot Levine, P11. Abe Duarte, P12. Chris Pace in P13 for steady pace, and he certainly did keep it steady. Oh no, he's out of gas. Oh god, he's out of gas. Someone please push him across the line. Sanchez says, no thank you, I want this. Nunez. Can Nunez get it? Nunez
Come
is
on,
gonna...
Andrew.
Oh, he's not gonna... No, he's got it. No, he's got enough.
I think he's rolling downhill now.
He should be. Here we go. Chris
Oh,
Pace.
come on. Are you kidding me?
He's got enough momentum.
Oh,
Please.
it's so close.
If he stops, he's gonna stop before the finish line. That is
No.
the worst.
Oh.
That is the worst. Someone push the
quick,
man.
do an outlap.
Well, wait. We
X-ray lap.
got Sanchez running around right now. He might. Oh, Chris, that's terrible.
Oh, my
There's no
goodness.
gas in the car.
Someone.
Oh, that you hate to see it. I think.
He's committed to it.
I know. I think it happened. I think last season we had somebody run out of gas just before the line. Okay, actually, you know what? I think Sanchez should be able to. Let's
Yeah, I think the section is moving.
He's cruising. Is the safety car on the way out?
Safety car is crawling. I don't know if somebody just released the parking brake or something.
Someone has released the
I
cracking.
think they're-
Oh god.
They're onto it.
Oh, the safety car.
Oh, don't
And
get
wait,
safety
Patterson. Now you can get disqualified for going backwards, Patterson. Aw, they kiss. How sweet.
Wow.
Oh, Patterson.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And there it is. Pace across the line, a little ass to ass.
That's just this.
And what a way to finish off this
That's
season.
what OOR's all about right here. Look at this teamwork.
Absolutely.
Family right here.
A very questionable family. But that will do it for not only Red Split, but the Sprint Series as a whole. We'd like to just take a quick peek over at the timetables here. So in the amateur class, it is Nunez in gold 1 and 2, Pro-Am, LePage, Davis, Jansen 1, 2, 3, and overall it's Patterson, Gulzar, and Brook. Your final top 3. Patterson picking up one more win in this season. But gents, that is it for Season 8 of Sprint Series. And now we've got some time between now and the next season.
Yeah, if we're still planning on it, team commentator Curse will be participating in the Spa 12-hour.
If we can
So-
stay up through the night.
Oh,
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
know I can. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. So you're doing
Good
12
deal.
hours.
Deal. Absolutely. I'm down for that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great season with everybody here, the drivers, the stewards, the race directors, obviously us commentators, and everybody in between. It's been absolutely amazing. Have another great season under our belts. I will be back in the booth, and I think you guys are I forget.
We'll see.
Probably not for
We'll
me.
see. Okay, yeah, probably not for Ryan. Maybe for Jeff. Nathan, I don't think is coming back. He's doing some driving. And then I don't know about Casey. We'll have to see. But again, I will certainly be back behind the microphone for another season. Closing thoughts, gentlemen, on everything?
Yeah, another great season. I feel like it just got started. I had a blast with you guys doing commentary this season. So cheers. Hats off to you guys. And as you said, everybody that puts on the show behind the scenes, stewards, race directors, and drivers themselves. Well done, everybody.
Yeah, what he said.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast here. We got some time off before the next season of Sprint kicks off. On behalf of myself, my co-commentators, everybody in the OOR, thank you so much for your continued support. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you may be in the world. And we will see you in a few weeks' time for another season of Sprint and even a special event here. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
I'm just calling to say I